No, we didn't get it fixed. It is working for Christmas. No, you're okay. I'm just following the court.
Hey, you come over? Come over. There's a price.
Carving.
I don't mind helping them out. So then I got to be.
Thank you,
this
good
one, so I'm
morning.
like, no. You got a snowboard. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Some more up.
Yeah. Testing, 1, 2, syphilis. I tried to see if there was a little tractor by with a cab, and snowboard. There's none in the
Thank
country.
you. Morning. Should be good.
It is January 4th, 8 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order of the Steele County Courthouse. It's January 4th, 2022. And I will call the meeting to order. Agenda additions, approval.
We're gonna add Dina, buildings and grounds to the agenda to discuss floor cleaner quotes she gave me. I got those at the end of the day yesterday, so I have them here to pass out to you
When do we want to put that in the?
whenever you'd like. Must let this down here and the odd chance this isn't right there. Make sure it's okay, Dory.
Any other agenda additions?
An extra hard copy, do you? That's okay.
I can get you one.
That's okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, got a motion, got a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Signify by saying aye. Approval of the minutes. We'll go on to approval of the minutes. Has everybody read the minutes?
I do have a change. I changed, fixed Ed's name right at the beginning. Since you guys had the scan out, so that's corrected.
Okay. Everybody's read the minutes and stuff. Any other corrections for Emily at this time?
We'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay, we'll go into HR department updates and stuff now.
I didn't really have a whole lot and I was busy, so I didn't send you guys anything out. We still have the one on light duty, the one employee on light duty. We've had 2 employees with COVID. I would like, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
They said courthouse in the emails, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know who they are, so. So since we're talking about COVID, I think it's good that you guys rediscuss what you want to do with that COVID leave policy for 2022. we want to extend it and allow the employees that haven't used their 80 to continue into this year. Or be done with it. And if they're out for COVID, they take it unpaid or sick leave or vacation. It's up for discussion. I think it's a discussion that should be had to clarify it.
I would,
Right now, they can use it once, right? It's-
Correct. Once they hit their 80 hours. That's it. We have 2 employees that have met it. I think there's 3 that are close, like 70 hours or over.
Or are we just gonna extend it for another year with what we got and start over again or not?
did we do it for a year or was it like a 6-month deal?
It was 2020
Oh,
that came out.
2020.
And then you guys extended it through 2021 if they haven't used their 80 hours.
Well, I suppose to be fair, we have to almost leave it. If they haven't,
Until they use it up.
yeah,
So I was kind of thinking.
it's not fair to others if some got it and some don't.
Do we know how many have had it? COVID in the courthouse? Total?
How many people used 80 hours, did you say? Only a
2
couple?
have, and that's county, all county employees. 2 have met the 80. 3 are close, over 70 hours for sure, between 70 and 80, there's 3. So 5 roughly. The guidelines for quarantining and.
They've
that
lowered
have
them
all-
some.
Right, have changed, so I don't know if that,
Was there required hours that we had to do? There's no law on that, is there?
it's done,
It's done.
2020.
I don't know.
That kind of changes my tune a little bit. Well, realistically, if they're sick, they get sick leave, right?
They do have sick leave.
I get a feeling that no matter what it's gonna be here.
Yeah.
So years from now,
They're talking about a different strategy.
so
Is there anybody low on sick leave?
I can check with Amy. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
What do you think of like cutting it in half or what?
Well,
We're
as soon as
eliminating
we
it?
talked about it a little more than I thought maybe cut it in half and then they got sick leave anyways. They're gonna get paid either way.
Right.
So,
And that's like usually all the something, right?
right. That's why I was curious if there was somebody that was low on sick leave. But then other employees can give them their sick leave too, I guess, right?
They can help out.
We let them do that before.
There's a policy for it.
I'd be curious to see how much sick leave's left, and just if there's people that are really short, maybe we could just do some kind of exceptions or share sick leave. I don't know if it's worth. They're gonna get paid either way.
I don't know, it's a tough decision to move forward with.
well, sooner or later, I think we're gonna have to get back on track to normal too, so. I mean,
I guess I say we just move back to no COVID pay and they can use their sick leave. And if their people runs out of time, they can get time from other employees. And if that isn't there, then maybe we can do a one-on-one to see what it gets. It's changing all the time. To my opinion.
Do we want to wait and extend it through 22 and see what happens here with the new thing? And maybe if we get more employees that use up their COVID hours, then maybe we'll have to sit down and discuss this again or what?
So you wanna leave it the way it is right now through 2022? And then we'll rediscuss it again.
Right, if we have to during the year or coming in 2023 then or something. I don't know, that's my opinion.
Leave it the way it is, you mean?
Yep, leave it the way it is, and I suppose if somebody gets their hours or whatever, you know, that's my opinion.
I'm all right with that, leaving it for this year, and then I think we have plans of going back to normal 23.
Hopefully.
And then we can adjust, I guess, if people run out through 22 here, but it's just tough to say because it puts us in a hard spot too of is it COVID?
Yeah.
You know, do you have we got to go into BA to see if employees are overusing it or not, you know, that you got where you got to go back to your vacation time and are using your, not vacation time, but your sick time. Well, that's, you know, you burn all that up then.
So do we make them have a COVID test in order to use it? Or can they just say, well, I got COVID and they get 80 hours?
You can't even tell them they have to have a shot.
No,
Right.
but are they required to get a COVID test?
I believe public health is notified if if somebody in the county is positive. I'm not sure on that. I mean, it goes back, you trust if they're sick enough to ask to use 80 hours that they really have COVID. I don't know.
I guess on the other hand, you really don't want anybody coming to work when they feel sick just because they don't have any sick time left or something like that either.
We've had a lot of that lately too.
It's the other thing.
It's a balancing, obviously.
Or should we just kind of table this for now and then ask Catherine about that when she's coming up?
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt.
I like the idea of making sure they got a COVID test, since the COVID tests are so easy to get now. You know, to qualify for the deal that we're gonna give.
But I suppose they can, even if they're negative, if they're a close contact, they're,
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's only 15 minutes, you know, to wait for it.
but close contact now is only 5 days or 7 days now.
5, I think.
So it's actually half of what we would be putting in 80 hours. Now.
Well, let's talk to Catherine about it when she comes up.
Table it for now and then
Yeah.
bring it up to Catherine. Question I think we want to ask her is, can we require?
COVID shot. Or I mean,
A
a
COVID
COVID test.
Okay.
That's it.
We wanna, is that all we got, Emily? or- I see you got stuff on the bottom of the agenda for later, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Should we talk to Deb?
That's what I think.
I can come back, I gotta be out this minute at 8:30.
Well, if you wanna go ahead, Dennis, we'll take care of you right now with the food pantry and stuff.
You wanna come here to the?
No, he says. You just sign the check and we'll put it in.
What's the update, Dennis, on the food pantry? You're here to talk about the food pantry, right?
We, over the holidays, we put out packages for the, anybody that needed them. We had ribs in there, we had sausage, we had pork, and all the other foods. We gave everybody a $50. Did they can spend at the store, either here or if they were from Hooker, they could spend on it. And then there was all Christmas presents for all the kids.
How many did you give out, Dennis, you said?
I did about 9 a day I was here, and there was more than that. I had to ask her, because she gave out some, and then I sat in one day. She wasn't here, so I did it one.
Is there such a thing as, I know we've talked about this before, some people just won't come and get. Is there such a thing that you know who they are? You could just take them back to care package?
I'm all for it.
I mean,
Yes, we do, we can.
you know, some people just don't want to ask, but yet,
Yeah,
our communities, we should kind of know who they.
if you hear somebody or know somebody.
Yeah.
Just let me know, and I'll get it back. Or we'll get them, I can get certificates of mix or here for any, out there. I gave out one at Christmas time. They weren't on the list, they were just moved into Steele County. I gave them some food and then I gave them $100 gift certificate.
I just think if you got the money, or you got the money that, yeah.
What kind of balance do you have?
With this, I'm gonna put 60.
I mean, it's nice to have the money on hand, there's something would come up, but just thought if there, anybody that just delivered to them.
So we'll probably have to, we cannot get hamburger or anything from the pantry right now. So. We've got some other items they just can't get through the Great Plains,
Mhm.
so we'll have to purchase them.
Can you buy like a half a beef, like Hope Meats or something and just get all
It would
hamburger?
have to be all inspected and everything. Right,
I think all them people are, aren't they?
I mean, mainly it's hamburger and everything.
So I mean, if you could get it all hamburger or something like that, so. Are you,
Sam.
are you finding any product that you can't get, fruit, vegetables or anything like that, or?
That, not really, we haven't had a problem there yet, so if we do, we'll just go
When's your guys' next meeting?
I haven't set one up, we were trying, Renee just got back, so I tried her back yesterday, so we're gonna set one up for either later this month or before. And we have the Great Plains food truck coming in. When we come in on the 27th of this month. 2:00, 2 to 2:30. We'll be down in front of the Ambulance Road.
And that's usually anybody, right?
Anyway. Nothing on that, the veteran service officer, his veteran service already been busy with the van. Good. And so January hasn't been, but it's been running around 15 to 17 rides a month.
You still have both vans?
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked about that. There's somebody said about the vans and I said, Steele County is true. And I said, there's.
We, this is kind of off the subject, but it goes back to the van. Sharon Legion closed, so all their members joined us. At the Legion here, so I sent out a letter to all Legion members in the area, explaining to the commander. When we're gonna have meetings, when we're open, and also then I put in there that I'm veteran service officer, and if they needed anything, if they're veteran affairs or a ride, contact me. I figured it was an easy way to do it, and I wanted to combine the two letters into one, so I sent a letter out. I sent like 30 letters out here yesterday.
Yeah, but you did that anyway before, didn't you, Dennis? Whether they're from Sharon or not?
Well, yeah.
You
but I
give
mean,
them
I
rides,
just- I
yeah.
just wanted to welcome them to our post
Oh,
and
okay,
just reminding them
okay,
that
yeah.
we had that, and then I put my business card in there and all of it.
Mhm.
So they should all know.
You still got all your drivers,
Myron and
Steve and his wife?
his wife don't drive, his wife, Alfred,
Oh, okay, so Myron and
Myron
Steve,
and Steve,
okay.
which is nice because they're both basically retired.
Right, yeah.
Mhm.
That's good. Anything else you want to report on, Dennis?
No, but I want to bring up what my tickets down.
I was gonna ask you if you got them out yet.
On Robert ticket. That's to raise money for it. We'd like to redo all of that down there. We're working on it. You know, because there is no real place to meet. You know, for county or anything. Kind of put good chairs in there. I gotta go in debt. I have money in the bank to do it.
That's good, very good.
Yeah, I was very surprised when I got that, but there was a lot that went around.
Yeah, there were,
4-H guy. Said something in page.
The park, I think. It was a park.
Was it the park? And then, but 4-H from Galesburg, your son, he got 5.
So what was that for, or what?
Well, the credit union was taken over by a bank or something. And so they had a certain amount of money that was.
equity or whatever.
It was, yeah, I don't know how she explained it to me, but it could go back out, it would go out to the community. So the food pantry was one from Steele County, they sent them in the one from Galesburg and Page, so. I don't know if there's others, but I thought that was pretty good.
Mhm.
Very good.
Very good, yeah.
So I didn't argue.
Well, Ted told me, and I just got the message that day before, and I didn't know. Then I got the name of the guy to call when I called him, and he said, well, Ted was in yesterday and picked it up, so I don't know. He'll get it to us somehow.
Yeah.
So
I called him, said I got it.
during-
Which is good.
So do you have to buy from the Great Plains
No.
Food Bank?
Not, some of the stuff we do, not everything.
Okay.
Like this one coming in now in Wall on the 27th. I'm not sure, we really never know what's on it until it.
Yeah.
So you get it.
So when you buy, how does that work? I mean, just when you go get it yourself, you have to buy it, or can you, how does
No,
it?
we order it and then they, and then some of the, they pay for some, it's not that big amount. But we don't need no equipment or nothing like that. So we just said, if we find somebody that needs it, there's no problem. We can either come in and give them, or we can take them a package, or we can.
Well, I just, you think about it, and there's a lot of people that I don't know. There's young couples and stuff. I don't know, if they, right, have no idea, but I just thought. If they can get it, just even what delivered, so.
It would be to get, to tell the churches, if they know somebody I think would be a good avenue to go through.
Absolutely.
They usually, you know, they could. You're not probably gonna hear, you're not probably gonna hear from it, but maybe somebody will say something in the church or something.
Yeah.
Message through that way.
Mhm.
Even like say if somebody's got a fire or something, write them a check for $500 for that fire.
Right.
No questions asked, just give them some money.
Yeah.
When I first moved in Steele County, I had a box dropped off to me. I didn't have any money. And I didn't ask for it, but it was nice.
Hope they all use them for their Christmas time. We got ribs from there. And they were the crackers, they
Mhm.
that long. That thick. We gave everybody one of them. Hope they all use them.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. So. Well, thanks, Dennis.
Yeah.
Yep, thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dennis.
Dennis.
Thanks,
You're
Dennis.
on.
Okay, thank you. Auditor, do you have anything else or should we jump into Amy?
Just a couple quick things I have. The election process is officially open. For the 3 of you that are up this year. You need help with which forms you need, let me know. I can help you get those printed off or direct you in the right direction for that. So you can collect signatures now.
That is Ted, Brian, and myself.
Correct. Also, Dina will be in here later for the floor thing. We added that as an agenda item.
Mhm.
I filled in last week, cleaning. She is back. So I don't think she'll take leave again for a while. So if you guys were wondering about the cleaning schedule.
Is
That's
she,
where we're at with that.
has she had her surgery yet?
No,
She hasn't.
no, that got delayed, so
Oh, okay,
6 weeks or so,
okay.
but she started back again this week. Luckily, it was a short week last week. We just are wrapping up still end of year, end of month, end of quarter. Seems like you guys just met last week. But there's a lot of reports. If you want full end of year reports, I can send you that, but they're very big files. So let me know. You can come look at the books
Can
too.
you actually send them or
Huh?
can you actually send them on or do you need like Dropbox or something to do that? Because the files are so big.
Yeah, we would have to figure out a different way, or you can come in and look at the reports
Okay.
here, or I can
Okay.
scan you certain sections.
Okay.
You know, if you're looking for something specific. Let me know. It looks like we got, I don't know. I thought we had the sound and the recording thing great. We tested it, worked great. You guys are able to be heard right now, but as you see, something just popped up earlier on the screen again. So I don't know. I sent it. I don't know what that.
Can hear you either right now.
Okay. I am not IT. I am doing the best I can with it. I understand it's frustrating for a lot of people. It's frustrating for me too. So I know all of you guys got that email from the citizen that was upset last month. I just replied back. I don't know if I sent that to all of you guys, but I prefer it to be directed to me, not at my staff. They don't deserve the repercussions of that because they have nothing to do with it other than try to support me. So what else?
I talked to him too.
Okay, good. Township paperwork will be going out. I think once we have an agent, they are planning on having a spring township meeting. So if we get more information on that, I'll let you guys know. Izzy will be gone with election training starting up again. All of the equipment is getting shipped back, the hard drives.
Where's that training at?
Bismarck. It's mandatory 2-day training. So we're splitting it with my office. We're splitting it amongst us. 2 of us will go the Wednesday. Thursday is a mandatory day for everybody. And the other one will go Thursday, Friday, so that we try to limit somebody not being in my office.
When's that?
First week of March. So, yep, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. We're doing the remapping of the districts after that redistricting meeting in December. That's a lot of numbers and GIS and it's a whole, GIS is really a whole position, it could be. But we're working through that. There's weekly calls. You guys ever wanna jump in on a fun election call? I'll be happy to send you that link. Questions from my office?
Nope.
I didn't have much. We've been pretty busy. W-2 forms, 1099 forms, all of the forms for end of year seem to be like nearly impossible to get. For the counties, the company, the counties, all of the state counties go through is for some reason struggling.
The main form we need. We can't get them like anywhere.
So we do have them on order. I think I ordered through a different online company, not the regular company. And hopefully they'll be here this week. So. Just a heads up on that, if you're wondering.
Kind of stalling our end of year
Wrap up.
wrap up.
Okay, let's move on to tax director then. Amy?
Good morning.
That's everybody.
Good.
You have a good New Year? You have a good New Year?
Yeah, it was
Christmas?
quiet.
Oh,
Well, before we start on this, Amy, I want to step in here and stuff. I got a call from Terry Hefta, yeah. And stuff, and he was wondering why his taxes were what they were and stuff. Well, he had some land out there that was commercial tax. Yeah.
Just the building was commercial.
Yeah, and stuff, and he's wondering why he had that, and he's had that for so many years and stuff, and that he wanted to do something about it and stuff, so I had called him back and talked to him, and seemed like we got everything pretty much cleared out, and then he came in and got a hold of Amy, and Amy and him discussed it and went over things, and this is why we have this abatement for refund the taxes, and I think he wants to go back 4 years or 5 years.
2018.
Or, okay, so, and it's not very much as far as each year and stuff, but he would just like to get it all correct and stuff, because there is no commercial out there and stuff at all and everything. Stuff, so,
so what is his building out there?
Is that Ben Hendrickson's old place?
no, that's his
It's
brother,
a
his
log
brother,
cabin.
Troy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's just got a garage out there. It sounded like when Vanguard came and assessed it, they couldn't get into the gate. And they did have an aerial view, which they can use to assess. They did assess a pull behind trailer as a barn. The house was also assessed as a barn. So I did get a call from Terry spring last year. And then, because he lives in Missouri, he said he'd call me in June sometime to come out and assess his property. I went out that Saturday, did the days. residential property, there's no commercial property out there. It's a log cabin. I reassessed every single thing out there. It was after county equalization, so I didn't think that I could change the values in the system, since I thought they were finalized, but they're not actually finalized till after state equalization. I think me and Emily talked about that. But maybe change the classification, is it?
Yeah, as long as the
Value.
value
change.
itself.
But there is a 1% difference in the taxable from residential to commercial. So that does change overall. That's where this between, I think 80 some and 50 some bucks a year, the difference for the reimbursement. So I do agree, his township agreed, that he should get that reimbursement of that 1% difference in taxes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything commercial up there. I don't.
I think there was a lot of word of mouth going around, and some people maybe went off of that too, saying he does have he was told that there was a mechanic shop out there, that's why he was being charged commercial, but it's a shop, but it's empty with a tractor in it.
I've been in there, it's not a mechanic shop.
So I think a lot of it was word of mouth, and he did talk to Ben in 2019 about it. There's notes and
So do we need a motion to approve this? I'll make a motion to approve this.
I'll second.
all from 18 to 21.
We got a motion and we got a second on that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Abatement is granted. I don't have I got the numbers here, but I don't have them added up.
It's around 200 and some dollars.
Okay.
Total.
I think there was one of,
243, I think it was
what was it, Amy?
243.
Oh, okay.
I did tell him to hold off on paying the 21 taxes, so we could just abate that amount, but they still paid them. So we have to refund them now.
Oh, okay. So,
Anything else, Amy? I know I got a phone call too. Some other babies figured out.
He's the next one I have here.
Okay.
That one, I got after everything was sent out to you guys. I received it on 30th from Kyle. So kind of confusing on how it all played out, but when I sent out all the material for them to fill out for the farm exemption paperwork, so that I could start a fresh list from what Ben had previously. Kyle did fill out the application, and the parcel number that was written on there is the parcel that is receiving the exemption, which he is saying his dad owns. So he was receiving the exemption on the parcel that his dad owns. And I couldn't find anything anywhere that showed that his dad owned it and not him. But I did have Jenny look into that. And there was a deed recorded in 2019. Deeding the east half of section 5 to Kyle minus the house. So the house is in the wrong name in our system. The whole little farmstead is in the wrong name.
Yep.
Right now. So Kyle he did not previously qualify before the new farm regulations that were implemented by the state, where they took away the 45,000 that you're supposed to make. It was just 66% of your income or more to qualify, plus 10 or more acres, and he qualifies for all that now.
Okay.
So he should have received the exemption on his parcel he lives in. But according to the paperwork, the information was filled out wrong. So I do think that he should be held kind of, for filling out the information incorrectly. But he does qualify for the exemption.
Even with his wife working.
Yes, now with the new exemption or the regulations of the state in place. the 66% or more of your income has to be from farming.
So he filled out the paperwork.
And then he sent this one, just, and he filled it out for 2021.
Okay.
So he does,
Are we good to go that his property now is farm exempt?
it is farm exempt.
Okay, the one
There's
where
no
he
doubt.
lives.
The one where he
Okay.
lives, there's no doubt,
All right.
no doubt at all.
Where he lives.
Where he
Where he
lives, yeah.
lives.
But so the property that he is receiving the exemption on currently, he does not own.
So that's straightened out.
It's, I will,
You will.
now,
Yep.
I can change,
Yep.
yeah.
So what are you for?
I mean, I do agree that he qualifies. I mean, I'm gonna let you decide if you wanna abate the taxes for this year or not. Because he does qualify, it's just paperwork was filled out incorrectly previously.
When was
The
it-
wrong
when was it-
person.
when was it filled out?
2020. 21. And I know we talked about it at township equalization, about what parcel and everything, so I don't know where it got messed up.
Well, if the paperwork was filled out incorrectly, I mean, it's not our fault.
Because he filled the paper out.
What a dollar amount is in
Well,
question
the
here or
agreement
what?
this year would be the 2001-81-43. So that's the actual tax dollar amount for the residents. So he will get it this following year for sure.
Well, what do you guys think?
Well, I don't think it's our fault that he filled out the paperwork wrong.
When I had a conversation with Kyle, sounded like he's trying to get it switched for a while. Whether that's, we think about it at tax time or what, but and I don't know the process of that or how that exactly works. I don't, like you said, I don't think it's just a call in and you switch it sort of thing.
Well, did he bring it up to Amy before previous, or was it? just-
According to him,
Did he?
he has brought it up in the past, and I'm not saying to you, I'm not saying to,
That parcel that he's receiving the exemption on now has been getting an exemption for umpteen years.
because it's his dad's,
It's his dad's, but it's under his name right now, so I don't know
because he has,
where all the confusion,
he has the quarter to the, he owns the land around the farmstead. So,
and.
and right there, it shows you that the farmstead was deeded out or whatever, so.
The eggplant is. And then finds the farmstead,
Is that south of the golf course?
And-
we're talking
and-
about?
2019.
That's south of the golf course,
Harold's place.
Harold's place, yeah.
What's the dollar amount on the exemption that he did get?
I think it was $400 and some dollars. It was around 465.
So. I mean, if he came to the county and requested this earlier, I think it would have been taken care of, wouldn't it?
So we went over it during equalization and which parcel it was on, and that's the parcel that I have currently getting the exemption. Then about it, because it would have been for however many years ago that it started.
I'm
And he said, I
I'm
think
not
he
sure.
purchased his house in 13 or 14, I think it was, that property from his dad, but. So then it's been wrong since then.
Well, it's
at least 14.
It's the wrong, I mean, it's wrong. We know that, so.
I think as long as we got everything straightened out now, moving forward, I think we'll just leave it as it is. Or what do you think, Emily?
I don't think I have an opinion.
Did
Did the county, is the county at fault for it? Did we do anything wrong?
Not that I see. But
The other portion is it'd be worth probably a phone call back to Kyle.
Okay, let's
get
table
his
till next month then.
Okay,
hold off on the abatement.
Let's table till next month
Let's
until we
table
get further clarification on it.
And then the last thing I have is the eggland values. NDSU lowered our average acreage value for Steele County. From $1,105.87 to $1,050.39. That now brings our county average to 98%. So it's kind of actually a good thing that we didn't raise eggplant last year, because we most likely would have been having to do a reduction.
But with this figure, 1,059, that's
That was
90.
2021's.
Oh, this 21.
And then our current average is the $1,050.39.
Okay.
What was the number before, Amy?
1,105.87. And then Steele County's average, that we have the eggland valued at right now, to get the 98% is $1,031.50.
Average.
Yeah. Second year, NDSU has lowered our average value. Normally they go up, they're going down for some reason.
Yeah, when land sold for $4,500 an acre.
I've never seen it go down.
I
I don't think
think
in
No,
my
it's kind of,
years here, so. That's a,
I want to increase it, because it wasn't increased last year, but I'm also nervous to increase it, because I don't want us to go over next year. We lower it again.
So the other counties around the state, did they do the same thing?
I guess I didn't look at everybody else's.
What Cass County do?
I'm not sure, I'll have to look at last year's and compare it.
motion to move forward with that, or not just, it's.
Just, I just wanted you to know where we're sitting, basically. It's pretty high.
so. Come June with equalization, you'll think about a motion on where you want it.
And then I'll be, the end of this month, Ryan from Vanguard will be here. The 26th, I think it is, to help run our sales ratio for the year. So then February, I should have those percentages for everybody. For residential and commercial. Questions?
Guess there's not much we can do,
No,
Don't control the value, it's really the average, I should say, from
huh? Mhm. Well, you can take.
questions for anything else?
Oh, I have no questions for you, Amy, so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We're done, June.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
yep, thank you. Okay, we got Mike coming at 9 o'clock. Anything else we wanna finish up before he's here?
Should we do some of these lease lot transfers, those easy ones? Some of that's done.
Yeah, we can do that. if Amy's got that ready. So we wanna move on to the golf course. And beer and liquor license, we want
I'll make a motion to approve that.
motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
Got a motion to approve the beer and liquor license for the Folk Golf Course. Got a motion and a second on that. Richard and Brandon. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Is there any other ones on that county? Beer and liquor, then only
There
other
is
one?
Lakeside Catering, like Tobiason up there,
Oh, okay.
and I have not heard back from them. Somebody had said that, is she retiring? I don't know if.
I
they're
asked around, I
open.
haven't heard that.
So I had left a message. So I guess until we know more, Hope has sent their check-in for the payment for it. And usually full waivers are good and he comes up here. But I just haven't heard from them at all or heard back after reaching out. So
But like Jake at the store,
Jake was done last month.
done last month, right?
Yeah,
Yep,
he's good.
okay.
I'll reach out to him. I gotta talk to Jim anyways.
Okay. You want to discuss I think the lease, you have time for the lease lots and the lease lot rates, or Mike is on for 9,
Yep.
or Agassiz Valley Board appointments. You guys have heard anything?
What's the lease lot transfer?
We have a lease lot transfer request from Todd Anderson. For approval, they did the payment, they did a bill of sale. Everything's good on that,
I'll make a motion to approve it.
okay?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second on the lease lot transfer at Golden Lake. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The lease lot rates, are we talking about raising them or
You review them and make a motion. to
What are they
leave it every year?
That's $700 now, I think,
No.
or 850.
when did we last go up, do you know? It's been a couple,
6 years maybe, I believe. It's been a few.
I know I've been on since we raised it.
How long you been on? 4, 5? 5, 5, 6.
6.
I can tell you if you want to know exactly. No? Not how long you've been on, when they were increased. I have the book.
Easy to get to.
Yeah.
When did we increase this?
Well, it's been a while.
It has been? And
think
we
so.
went from,
Probably been
we
3 or
went
4.
from 7 to 850 then, the last increase.
I thought we only went up $50,
Oh,
but I
Yeah, I can't remember.
bet it's been 3 or 4 years.
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking, then a little bit anyway.
idea. Richard, I don't have that here.
Okay.
I thought it had my amount, but I thought I had the saved letters that I send out every year, right in this binder. And
I
they're in
thought,
my
I thought we
office.
only raised it like $50 last time. I bet it's been 3 or 4 years, wasn't it?
It has been for sure. Yes.
What does commissioners think of that?
Was it worth? What are we thinking? Are we thinking raising it another $50 or what? We're just gonna leave it. Seems to me, I remember something discussing that at some point in time through the park board thing. Maybe that was for,
When does that go out? The notices for, when do they pay them?
The notices go out this month. I send them out after you guys approve the rate, and then they're due by April.
How many lots is it exactly?
43.
Well, I'd almost like to know when we would raise the last before. It's been a while. Raise it, but
You give me about,
let's come back to that, should we? Let
yeah,
somebody-
I will look it up. I'm looking through the receipt right now.
Have you had anybody looking for that board appointment for the MC Valley?
Jenny called Brandon regarding it. And he had her do an application. She's interested. Jenny Foss, the recorder.
Jenny is?
She's interested in the position.
Wonder what the deal was. Why they dropped 2 commissioners. Because there was that one meeting, there was about 5, that special meeting, there was about 5 different people from around the state that were coming in to Agassiz Valley.
my understanding, I think it was legislation.
Yeah, it is.
What?
The state changed it.
Legislation.
State did it? She knew that was coming.
That's the only one we've got.
That would, yeah, because Catherine's got what, another year left or 2? 1, I suppose.
1, Catherine is up at the end of next year.
Do we wanna? How long was that ad running and stuff?
1 week.
So it wasn't last week's paper.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you said you'd take that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Good. They pay you mileage for driving over there. Whatever.
That's just 2 meetings a month or one a month?
Usually the last Thursday is what it's been.
Mhm.
And then we get 4 in Steele County and 8 over there.
Mhm.
Morning.
We, I suppose we need a motion on that too, and then also that will be taking one day away from her in her office over here too. But I think as long as the county employees here are willing to be on there, I think there'd be another eyes and ears that we can have to count on to let us know what's going on over there, is my opinion. Stuff, so,
Well, yeah, as long as we got the nurse still in there and then with Jenny and
mhm,
Brandon, you know, that's, yeah, we know what's going on.
yep,
And it's, I mean, we can't stand alone. And I guess we just will stay with them. We don't want to leave.
right.
She's got some qualifications too that helps.
She does,
Yeah,
she does. She knows all the state things. That's,
Well, if, you know, somebody wants to do it.
I'll make a motion that we appoint her.
the two. You meant
Well, we
Jenny?
already did, yeah.
Yeah, okay, Jenny,
Yep.
I'll second.
got a motion on the floor to appoint Jenny Ross as the Sioux County representative. Got a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay,
Before we talk with Mike and everything, can we get a 5-minute recess?
yeah, we can. I gotta go back to the very beginning of the meeting. The approval of the minutes, that was also for our special meeting that we had at Zoom, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Just so we get that verified in here too. That's done. We'll take a recess here for interstate engineering comes up.
I'll make that motion.
A motion, second,
second.
so move, all in favor? Aye. 9 o'clock,
Wait,
take a short recess.
10-15 minutes ago.
Jenny?
You look at me and smirk like that.
Look pretty simple, doesn't
Yeah, it's extremely simple.
it? Yeah. You can give it to Dennis or whatever. Okay. I don't know when we're gonna have another meeting. so,
That's fine. Thanks.
Or when that's actually gotta have the cash, I don't know.
I'll write it up, submit it, and whenever you guys will hear it, that's when we hear.
Yeah, but you know, probably we won't act on it until you probably need. it.
Right. So, sorry. It's like Brian called me the other day about solar light on Clear 8, junction of 8 and 200. To brighten up the road a little bit, because it gets real foggy there in the mornings.
It's really dark there.
It's really dark.
On that turn.
We gotta put a light there? Well, he wanted me to look into some costs and stuff, but it shouldn't be too expensive to throw a solar light on there, right? So
Oh, yeah.
Solar.
Like the other guy is, like they done in, I mean, the county?
Yeah, it'd be on the county.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, it would just like, I would have, you know, electricians or whatever do the solar light, or we do it. Who's gonna put the pole in here, have it no DAC or whatever?
Oh, I wouldn't have to do that. We wouldn't have to run power to it. It'd just be solar.
Yeah, I don't wanna make it a big mess. I just want like one pole with a light and a solar panel.
Yeah, but how are we gonna make the whole?
Oh, we don't have to do it till spring.
Yeah.
No, I mean, so we'd have to have somebody dig the hole and put the pole in.
Yeah, but we can probably find somebody to do that. pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah. The solar light that, probably talk to Tyler or whatever. And, since they put, with the solar panel and so it's on.
Hey, sorry about that. Still in my eyes. I'm taking a break.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe. We have to get the permission now. To from the highway.
Well, yeah, put us on the chairs on the phone, right? We can put it on down, but
Yeah. Before you get to be in the slough.
all right.
No.
The poles down.
Was that guy from Golden Lake that called you
For now.
about, hadn't been plowed on for 5, 6 days?
I'll still figure. Oh, you haven't had your meeting. yet. Oh, okay. I'll
He
talk to
emailed
you.
me.
Well, I got a call from North Dakota DOT
Yeah.
about it, and then I gave him your numbers, because the numbers that this guy had were wrong.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. There's another guy too. He emailed me and so then I called him and stuff, and he was wondering when they were gonna be open. I said, I don't know. I said, call again, the town of County Commission phone number, and he called them and stuff.
Who was it?
Charles something or another.
What was it on?
One guy was like Charles.
Okay, sounds good.
It's on a township road?
Yeah, it was all township
Oh, well,
in Newbury Township. And then there was one in Edendale. with-
So you know what happened to Newburgh?
Beckman, looking kind of tan.
Yeah,
I didn't see them.
Newburgh's usually the first to call, so we go by order.
right, yeah.
And they were the last ones to call. So they got done last.
Did you call Johnson Ranch?
That's the way it goes.
mhm.
It wasn't 5 days though.
Well, I don't.
Does that count?
Well, that was told.
Yeah.
They were just wondering and stuff, and then I gave him Chance's number and Chance called them, and
I was on the 9th hole, why would I go? Let me show you.
the one guy didn't even know what junction he was living in. That's a problem, they don't even know what township or nothing, and I gave him Curtis's number, and then Curtis, because he thought he was in Beaver Creek, and really it was in Newburgh Township. And,
How many townships do we have?
we have
It's
6.
just easier to come around. but-
One guy called me and then I said, well, did you go out and look? And then he went out and looked, then he said he could make it. So,
Then I gave Rod Layton, the other guy's phone number, so then he had a doctor's appointment, did you wonder if he needed to postpone it or not? It takes time to get over it when you got 18 inches of snow.
We'll take this one, Brian.
They just wanted to know when it was possible, nothing like needed it right now.
I'll make a motion to reconvene.
Got a motion on the floor. Second by Brian, the commissioners meeting or reconvene here at 9:08. Well, as long as Mike isn't here, Reed, is there anything you got besides the culvert bid opening at 10 o'clock?
I don't know if you guys got any questions or.
We still have an employee on that duty.
I don't know what if he's still on like Billy or not. I don't think so.
Do you have paperwork that says that he's not on light duty anymore?
I've never seen any paperwork.
Do you wanna,
Yes, you have. I've been sending you it and
Then what's
updating you.
it say?
He's,
What's the last stuff that
he is on light duty. You need to follow up with him too.
can you check on that and let us get back to you?
Sure.
I'll let the rest of us know. Morning.
Everybody's back at work over
Yeah.
there, Reeves?
Yeah. Tim had to take
You come up from home
his
today?
brother to surgery today in Fargo, so he's not here today. But, he'll be here tomorrow. There's nobody left to take his brother in his place. He's a nurse.
Anything else, Reeves?
This summer, they're gonna redo 200
Yeah,
from the four-way stop. We're gonna have crosswalks painted on the three sides, because the dumb thing is at that four-way stop, there's three different entities.
yeah.
Fargo Division, the Grand Forks Division, and the state and the county own every part of that. So we want crosswalks on the west side of that four-way stop too. They'll take care of the other three, but we'll probably have to take care of the west side. That's like 17 cents a foot or something like that. So
Just have to do it all at the same time.
yeah, that's kind of the idea.
Get a price on it from when the crew gets here,
Yeah,
of what it's gonna cost us.
just have them bill us separate or something like that, but somebody will have to talk to them, make sure, because they're gonna do them three for sure. We'll just let them know that we want the fourth side, the west side done too. They wanted crosswalks, a block to the east and a block to the south, but the state says that's not a good deal because they should be walking across at the stop sign.
Yeah,
So we might have them do the one that's a block to the south. We might have them do the city crosswalk right there. We haven't decided that yet, you know, if they got extra, we might have them do that. The school wants them to do that. But the other thing is, we want to have a look. I don't know, did Wayne talk to you, Ben, at all about seeing if we can get a turning lane put in out at the dump site out there? I've talked to a couple of guys at the DOT, and he needs a letter from the state or from the county to do a study to see if it's feasible to do that. Probably moving the 45-mile-an-hour back a little bit and then having a turning lane going out to the piling site. So I don't know if you want to come up with a letter and I'll get you the guy's name. Lyle, you probably know him, Lyle or whatever.
I know. Lyle from the DOT.
Yeah,
Was he from Grand Forks?
But that was probably the guy that was here, when we talked to Beckman and I talked to him and stuff from Bismarck. That's the head.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think
We
Aaron,
talked to him about that, and then also linking the 45-mile-an-hour zone all farther.
yeah,
Town, just for safety reasons, you know, everybody's on the lead plates, so.
so if you could put together a letter requesting that they do a study to have that done, because they could do it this summer if they can make it work.
Is it just a letter of support, or is it gonna cost us funding to do that? 'Cause it's
No.
county roads.
No, it's a letter of requesting their study to see if it should be done. And then it's the state's deal, so then they can add it to that project, so,
Ben can probably contact your guy,
yeah.
see what they require for that. That'd be a great
And
thing.
that's, all he says is he needs a letter from somebody, either the city or the state, or I mean, the county or whoever to, so he can get the process of putting the strips across the traffic counts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what you talked to Tyler about.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was hard, you know, but there's still the city, dealing with the city, stuff going that direction.
Yeah, and if you need me to sign it for the city, we can do city, county at the same time, so.
Sure. Do you have contact info?
I do, yeah. And Beckman does too, so. His name is Lyle. I can't think of his last name right offhand, but his name is Lyle.
Which district is he with?
I think he's with the state.
He's probably with the state. He's probably the kind of the main guy.
I think he's the right away guy.
He's the one that puts the deal together for this project.
Right.
So they'd get the turn lane in now, Brian, as long as they're redoing it, or?
If time allows, I have no idea how long that stuff takes. I mean, there's gonna be, there'd have to be a lot of dirt work, I would imagine, to get that put in there, but he has to do the traffic counts first to see if it's right.
I think it's a good idea.
I mentioned to him, you know, like the state hadn't let the elevator put their signs, they only had to leaving their temporaries out there on the shoulder of the road, you know. Well, I said, but how hard is it for them for you guys just to agree to put a sign up out there? And, oh, I don't know, that's like, you know. It's more of a hazard having them temporary sitting on the shoulder of the road with sandbags on and put the sign up. So,
Well, it's the same thing south of town too,
yeah, that's what I told
in,
them.
in the scale area.
Then they're dealing with Fargo, you know, which I know the Fargo guy, I've talked to him before, you know, and I mean, the elevator, you know, I've even suggested it, you know, it's like after Congress wanted to do that.
Mhm. So. Well, if there's nothing else, Reed, maybe we'll go on to Mike then from Interstate.
So just following up a couple things. We'll start with maybe the easy one first. The House Bill 1505, money that's coming out to you guys. Probably maybe you already got the first check, I'm not sure. They said it was gonna be January, but. But I don't know if you have copies with you or not, so I'll pass them around as long as it's good. I'm sure it's districts. So the $24 million that we talked about last time. Program. So after your last meeting, Ben and Reed and I sat down, kind of looked through your bridges to get some perspective on what my call was. What our concern has been is the way the grant application reads. There's certainly some concern on exactly what will qualify. So as we talked last time, it's they're going to score these grant applications based on the condition of the bridge, the load rating. They're also going to use traffic, detour length, roadway classification, which indicates to me that the higher the importance of the road, the more points it's going to get. Traffic generators. The important part about this funding is it is 100% funding. It is supposed to cover all costs associated with the project, with a few minor exceptions. If you have to purchase right away, that's your cost. If you have to remove a utility and actually have to pay for it, that's your cost. So just a couple minor things will be your cost. Otherwise, instead of the typical 80-20 federal funded bridges, this is 100%. So it certainly seems worth putting it in. The problem becomes what might qualify. So what we did on this map that you're looking at here, we split the county north and south on 2 pages, just so that it's a little bigger text so you can see. So there were 3 bridges that we talked about putting in for this. The first one on the first page is just south of Highway 200 on County Road 10 towards the east side of the county. And the other 2 we looked at are on County Road 5. Let's maybe start with those first. Those are really easy to start.
These are the ones you got marked in red, then, Mike, yes.
So really what my goal is just to make sure that you guys are on board with these bridges being the right ones to put in for this grant application. Together and some information, and we'll send it in and see what happens. On system roads, like County Road 5, you paved county roads, obviously with higher traffic, appear to be that are going to score higher and give you more potential to be able to get this grant funding. So the reason that we picked that first bridge, that 117-25, if you remember back in 2018, the bridge inspections had seen significant enough movement in those abutments. And there was obviously whether the top of the abutments were leaning in or the bottom of the abutments were kicking out. So there's a little uncertainty there, but it tells us there's a foundation issue there. So if you remember, some of you weren't on the board at that point, but if you remember at that point, we came in and we put a steel beam on each side of the bridge, on the outside of the bridge, to try and hold those abutments apart. Well, that was really temporary. I mean, in the long run, you're going to need to do something with it. My problem with this is that part of their criteria on this is condition and load rating. So all of your bridge inspections are done by the state. The program that they went through this time around, the way that they hired a consultant to do these. But the problem is that they don't have the load rating stuff on a lot of these bridges. I mean, you've seen some of them where it gets a notification, no, the load rating dropped and close the structure. They don't have the load rating done on a lot of your bridges. So we're kind of guessing at this point, and I don't think I'm going to get those load ratings by the 15th when this is due. So a lot of counties are in the same condition. The southeast quadrants of the state, it's you guys are in bridge inspections. Concern would be with this bridge because of that abutment movement. And some of the ways that you look at that, the load rating might drop on that. At this point, it isn't. It's still unrestricted. So there is a little hazard of putting that in that the load rating won't drop, but there should be enough justification there. It's important enough road with high truck traffic that long term. But just wanted to put that caveat on it that if it doesn't come through without the load rating, it's kind of hard to pick these. The initial reason we looked at that one to the east, the 125 is because of the discussion of partial removal, full removal. I'm not sure exactly what the water board's current plan is with that Elm River Dam upstream of that. So I think part of what we're talking about is this structure going to be big enough anymore? If that dam is removed and it doesn't hold some of the water back. That structure is actually pretty large. It's a triple 10 by 10 concrete box cover. So I don't know without having all the information on the dam and the full study of it, but I don't know that that's going to be too small. I don't think that's going to be the proper criteria for that. So really why I think that one's still beneficial to put in is the safety side. Anybody that's run over that, the edge of that structure is 3 feet off the edge of the pavement, and then it's a 15-foot drop down into the channel. That no longer meets federal state safety standards. It needs to have that 18 to 20-foot clear zone off the edge of the pavement. So the 117.25, we will be looking to put in a grant application for full replacement of box culverts. That's a good candidate for box culverts. It's got about 4 square miles of drainage, so it would fit. But this 125-25, what I'm thinking on that is if we can find enough information on that existing box culvert. Built in 1965, and you guys don't have a copy of those original plans, so the problem is you don't know what was put in that concrete steel. So the thought on that is, we've done this many times, the state has done this many times, those cast in place box culverts, you saw off the wing walls, and you'd be able to cast in place extension to lengthen them, and put the wing walls on. If you don't know what you're tying into, it's a bit problematic. It can certainly be done from a construction standpoint. The concern there would be is that 1965 structure can have, so you're adding on to a structure that's going to be in the. That's why I'm a little leery about doing that, but without more information, I don't know if we can justify full replacement. Still think it's worth putting in. You know, if for some reason through the course of the preliminary design, you come back to the DOT and say, hey, wow, we found out this structure is going to be more than we thought. Is there opportunity for other funding? Is maybe another way to look at it. So one replacement with box culverts because the bridge is getting bad condition. One, rehabilitation. They say in the grant application that rehabilitation instead of replacement is something that's probably going to score higher. So maybe it gives you a better chance to meet it if you sell it as rehabilitation. And then the third one, fixed structures that we do that were in questionable shape that were on roads that had some kind of higher traffic. So like County Road 5, for example, the average daily traffic on that is upwards of 250. Most years on the traffic counts, the truck traffic on that is about 25% of the traffic, which is pretty high for truck traffic. A lot of gravel goes east there, a lot of stuff goes from the whole.
Right, yeah, that is, yeah.
So that helps our cause. This one on County Road 10, the county traffic on that is only about 45 vehicles a day. Lower traffic, which gives me a little concern on how they're going to score that. That bridge is currently also not posted for road. But if you read the inventory on that, those abutments also have issues. They have cracks in them, and those reports show that on this particular one, in some areas, there's been movement to the top of the abutment leading in, and some of them, what's even more concerning, is there's been measurements to show that the bottom of the abutment is coming in. That tells me that maybe there's a pile underneath these, maybe they're just sitting on a foot. And when they're really tall abutments like that, then it's a little scary. So I would be surprised if the load rating on this doesn't drop. So this might be another one to at least get in to them, and maybe through the course of review these grant applications, the load ratings will be available at that point. Very help that cost.
Being we lower the load rating on one of these other bridges that's over to the east, the west of this one, the trucks now have been coming out on the County Road 10 and going north to 200 instead of going to the north across the bridge. So, you know, the farmers over here are starting to use that County Road 10 and go up to 200 more.
Which bridge was it? Do you know offhand which bridge was it that you lowered the load rating on? Do you know what bridge you lowered the load rating on?
Yeah. Okay. That 46, 19, 13. Criminal. Can't you?
It's 2 miles. It's showing on here, that's 119.13. Which is supposed to.
That got dropped from
even more than it was
from
before.
9 ton per axle, 21 ton gross to 15 ton.
So it took out one of your other north-south routes. Well, with that little synopsis, any other thoughts that you guys might have? on what you'd like
So
to see?
these are the 3-year we're thinking of sending in for this.
These are the three we're doing.
Okay,
Definitely not gonna get all three. Maximum for this grant is 2 million. So if you want to do these, that last one would be a bridge. It's got a fairly large drainage area now. So even just that particular project, each for 100-foot single span bridge is probably $1 nowadays.
yeah.
But I figure this gives them a bridge, a box culvert, and a rehab. Give them a little bit of everything.
We can get
So what time frame would it be on this to complete these?
So they've got this money in place. But what they're saying is that they will require this to follow their full federal aid process. So this isn't 22 construction, this would be 2023 construction at the earliest. You have until 2026 to spend this money. I think if it's 100% their funds, the timing of it wouldn't matter so much to you guys. It's just a matter of getting through the process.
So Steele County has $2 million.
No,
No,
you're guaranteed nothing. So there's $24 million, and these are grant applications. You can sell it, trying to convince them that your bridge is more in need than somebody else's bridge. What they're doing is they're capping the maximum of each county at 2 million. With the idea that if you have a county that has all of these bridges that need to be replaced, well, they're gonna try and share the money around instead of giving one county 10 million. They'll
Yeah.
make sure they try and share.
Yep.
But still, 24 million,
that ain't gonna last very long.
that's 12 counties at 2 million apiece, so.
well, I just thinking of this, Mike, 2 on County Road 5. We would never dare shut 5 down for 2 bridges in 1 year.
No.
You know, that would be, farmers would be on our, you know,
But I would find it really unlikely that you'll get funded for both of those structures.
Okay.
I'm thinking you put in for 3 and probably best case scenario, you're gonna get.
mhm.
So, but if you did happen to get both of those, no, you wouldn't do it for the same year. They're completely different types of projects that are completely likely different contractors, so there would be no overlap.
Richard, this one out here in Inger, is that east of Lances or west of Lances?
East,
East of Lances?
it's down by Jimmy Grundle's place.
I suppose if they're gonna redo Highway 200 and stuff, then we'll just have to go ahead and do it then, huh?
So 200 is project that's slated for this year. No, it's just a mill over it, isn't it?
I don't know, I haven't.
So it's just mill over it.
That bridge out at, on County Road 10, there's a lot of erosion going on banks too, that for many years.
That's one of the only bridges never gone out, never gone over during a flood.
That's a tall bridge.
Been all the way around for a long time. There's everything else around here. That's the top of it.
Water goes
Been
through.
into Jim's house.
That's good information too. I can use that. See, that's what you're saying.
Our trail, we replaced the bare wire on it, when I was like 16 or. Going in the trail, then it's all been pretty rough.
So what do you think? Does it sound like a plan? Are there any other bridges that have been in mind that might be on a non-system that?
Well, we can go back to 5, but that doesn't do us any good.
Ben's working hard on the FEMA side.
No other two bridges that we're gonna do, is that we're planning
those box culverts.
Yeah. That's still in the works too then?
That's still in the works. That would be regular bridge funding when that becomes available, but the reason we didn't include that in this is just they're off-system roads, they're township roads. I don't expect you to score very high. So your better opportunity with that is the regular bridge funding.
The one up in Westfield that's marked with the X and the red and yellow, that's the one at Palmer?
Yeah, that one's been replaced. Yeah, this map is really well.
Okay,
I did this back in 2019. I think. I was gonna update the map as soon as we got all the bridge inspections, but we haven't got it yet.
but those ones are the critical ones that are red and the X and yellow and all that.
Yep, so the yellow means that it's posted for road, and the red means that the old sufficiency rating, the 0 to 100 rating is less than 50. And then when you put the X through it, they also have a code that calls it either structurally deficient or functionally obsolete. So when it's got all three of them, it helps you justify it to the DOT places. But these are not all accurate anymore, as these low ratings have changed.
How about the one on County Road 6? By Elena's house out there, is that in pretty good shape? That's a pretty important road as well.
Where at?
By Elena.
Oh, yeah, look, that was replaced.
Yeah, that's been
That's
replaced.
a box culvert there.
Yep.
God, when you got that, 18 maybe? There was some.
It hasn't been that, I mean, it's,
Yeah,
Yeah, the last 10 years or so.
yeah,
That's the one you.
Yep.
yeah, the box culvert, no,
On 6, going north.
yeah.
yeah, that is.
Little 11 there.
And they cut that hill down.
Yeah, they raised it up.
They took all the dirt from all the garages up there and
Yeah.
brought down
Yeah.
and took and raised that grade quite a bit.
Mhm.
So that's what I know on that, unless you guys have any other thoughts or questions.
Let's hope for the best.
That's just a opportunity. It's not looking for it.
Yeah. I agree. Sure.
We'll just finish up the readings. You need to say it both anyway, maybe structure that you want to replace the load rating will go down. Although that worked so good, I'm trying to revive the summer to have restricted purchase. So I sent Emily the certification letters. I don't know if you guys have seen those yet to sign.
Russell has them all.
Okay, so when Russell signs those, I get a copy of those, I can send them to DOT, and then we should be on track for the final 11 overlay for March 11th. See how that goes. I don't know that the DOT is necessarily gonna make you make your final decision on where some of your funding is gonna come from. So I think you can probably wait until after that bid letter to make that final decision on whether you're gonna borrow ahead on your federal funds or whether you're going to use some of the House Bill 1505 money that's coming, or exactly how you're gonna structure that. Ronnie sent them a cost estimate for the Conroe Road 8 culvert this morning. And you after the last meeting or something, I forgot to move it home, so. At that nagging feeling, got a hold of them, got that cost estimate, so hopefully you can submit that to FEMA, maybe there's a possibility that FEMA might think about funding that culvert replacement. That'd be a 75, 10, 15 split, so 15% our cost. If it goes through. Keep it moving.
What was the cost estimate?
The cost estimate was 80,000. You haven't opened the culvert yet today, I guess we'll see what happens. We added a factor to the culvert price and I'm just not knowing that's, I'm sure it's going up. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to say to you guys today, unless there's something else. You need from me. Progress.
We just want to 5 bridge, have you heard anything?
I just gotta sign these.
Weren't we kind of expecting to hear something?
We're happy or something.
Above or below or what?
It's the federal government.
I would do about 10.
January.
I don't,
So.
it doesn't much matter. Then it gives me a clear line to try to write straight line.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
You next.
At 10. We gotta kind of stay at 10.
It was advertised at 10, so.
We'll come back to it at 10.
Oh,
Can't do it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Are that, when are they accepted? Are they accepted to 10 at till 10?
No, we were accepting until.
We better wait till 10.
I gave this to Mike to look at. I just got it the other day. I didn't get the time to review, but. Walking the road is the bridge, inspection stuff, and they sent, cost estimates that will get, in there, for our share of the cost, I should say, that we get your bills. And the other side is the certification for local match for that. That's usually a thing that. we have to get Russell signs. I apologize, I just got it the other day. It was in that packet that you throw it through my,
I don't, Carly,
somebody did,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even look, I haven't seen
Yeah,
it. so.
it's bridge process.
Is that where it says our funds are coming from? Is that
Yeah.
where-
Yeah.
One of those.
That's pretty simple. This is for the last. This is just one.
This
I
little,
thought it went through, yes.
well, this stuff we did.
And then, supposed to go on a meet with Beaver Creek one day, on that, about that bridge, maybe I should invite him to, February meeting. So we can get that kind of rolling too and see what their thoughts are on it. We do have the culvert for that. Put that over this, we have it ready. That'll save a lot of money.
We should invite Beaver Creek to our February meeting to talk about the bridge over west of Lake Tobias. It's closed, see if they would help cost share with us on culvert replacement.
Sure. Just to follow up with you quickly for the lake. Give you something to ponder. 2010, the rate was 500. 2012, it went up to 600. 2015, it went up to 750. And 2020, it was 850. I don't remember the 2020 jump. I was thinking
That's
that
right at the time we
2015 was
we
the
were
one I
doing the-
remember.
the campground stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why we did it. Thought it was sooner than 5-6 years ago.
It's been 2 years.
Maybe we should wait another year and then. I'll make that motion then while
Thank you.
we'll wait another year to bump that up.
You send them out a letter that says.
I do, yeah, every year.
I'll
I would-
second.
I would send it out that says, it's gonna stay the same, but look for a price increase next year or something.
Do you need a motion for some for your
Yeah, so this is a packet of information, but it's the top page, so it's just a certification of local match, for the bridge. Inspection funds, so that's an 1820 or 80-20 match between us and the state. That's the state hired out, this contractors, they go out, do all the bridge inspections, that sort of thing. They pay, they pay, so this is included in that as a progress estimate of what we have to pay so far. We paid almost 25,000 already. And then this is an extra 2,500. Mike was just looking at it where the contract's only about halfway through. So we're estimating to see another 25 or so.
Did we budget anything for that? I don't remember.
Well,
Doubt it, because I don't believe they told you what it was.
No. It's gonna be about 50 some thousand bucks.
So the top page is what I need the approval on. It's just the certification of local match, basically saying that the funds are gonna come out of local funds. They're not gonna come from other federal funds. Normal stuff you guys thought.
And that's every 3 years.
No. The difference this time is that doing every bridge in the states is being low rated. They won't all have to be low rated again. The next cycle on this will just be the inspections. So once they get the system set up, the anticipation is that it should be a lot less. Think about that. That's for the southeast region. That contract was almost $5 million. Four regions in the states, of course, the regions out west, probably a little less. So the total cost for this round of bridge inspection for low ratings is probably. Once the load rating system is set up, the whole base is the next time. It's gonna be a lot less.
So the next time we need to inspect the bridges, when will that be?
There's some bridges inspected every year.
Is that ones that we do ourselves, we can inspect, or do we have to hire that done?
You can opt out of the federal inspection, but then you need to still do it to meet the federal standards, which means you would need to hire a consultant to do it that way. Benefit of this, of course, is they pay 80%. The whole reason this came up is the bridge inspections also always used to be done by the districts. And then central office in Bismarck rated them. Well, because the Minneapolis bridge and all the things that are happening with bridges, they want to get, the feds were pushing that to get into the more sophisticated process.
I will say there's no due date on that, so I mean, if you guys, it wasn't on the agenda, it can wait to your next meeting. If you wanted to wait on it, it doesn't have to be on today. I had it in my mail. I wanted to show it to you guys.
But it's also pretty routine.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I think also too, before we do that, I think it's probably should budget for this.
Yeah,
for
that's what I was-
coming years.
that's what I was
We're gonna be
asking.
Spending $50,000 on it. Quite a hit.
That'll be no cost, but like Mike was saying too, those costs are gonna go down, and that was the whole reason why we didn't know cost estimates. We didn't have anything. So.
But either way, we should budget. I mean, it could be maybe only 10,000 next year. But we still should probably have another line item on
Something in
that.
there.
Mental note
Right.
for 6 months down the road.
Write it down.
We got a motion here from Richard on this certificate for local matching for bridge inspections. I need a second on this.
So moved.
Ted, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Opposed? Same sign, motion carried.
So there's a place on there, Russell, for you to sign, and I think Emily has to attest to it.
Okay.
I think it's on, so I can look at it as well.
You just, write your name, print. Sign below.
funding like that available?
The last safety go around, we did the striping. There's also some lighting.
I'm just gonna write Chapman below you.
Oh, okay, that's why I applied for that.
I think this round.
They want to put a light road to County Road 8 with blacktop. Yeah. We have to like see if we can get federal funding for that light. Through there's the grant for safety and stuff, so that's what I just mentioned to Mike, and we could probably apply for that sometime in 2022.
Yeah, it's no hurry. It's just that I go by there in the dark in the morning and dark at night. And it is really hard to see if it's cloudy, if it's foggy. I've driven past the turn twice since I've been going to Grand Forks. It's just, and then when you go up through that road to when you hit that Northwood turn,
Yeah,
there is a light there,
yeah.
and that makes all the difference in the world.
The other day when I come back, we'll get parts, it was so foggy, and I drove right through that. Didn't even see it.
And when I
I
went
mean, it was
to,
that thick.
the hockey game on Saturday last week, there was a car in the ditch right at that turn. So apparently he missed it and slid into the ditch.
I mean, it was just so foggy, and it
Okay. Yeah,
was just foggy here.
and coming on 8 to the south, the rumble strips
For this.
let you know
Just today.
that it's coming up.
Yeah.
Whereas on the highway, there's no rumble strips,
No.
so. I mean, I've gone past it
I didn't
twice,
bus
so.
yesterday.
I see somebody
Yes.
turn the corner too fast.
Well, that's what I mean. They didn't see the turn and then turned too late and then slid right into the ditch,
Yeah.
you know.
We'll check into that.
Is that like a state project though, too? Because they've done other places around.
I don't know if you want to get the state involved. I didn't want to turn it into a big thing. I mean, I'm talking about a light
We put
pole
that on our right away.
with a solar light on it,
Oh, mhm.
just something real simple.
It'll be in the water on either side. Oh,
To be off the right away.
but yeah, it'll have to be out of the right away.
Can you do that?
It'll be in the water. I mean, we'll have to hire the Nodak or whatever, I suppose, with that big deal that they have, the Caterpillar thing, put the pole in, you know.
We'd have to talk to them and stuff too, to what their rules and regulations are too,
Yeah.
so.
Let's look into that a little bit.
What else we got?
Last week, we're gonna have to go to bid on for a new motor grader for sometime in by May. So we'll have to put a bid packet together, and because they're looking at maybe 9 months out for a motor grader and stuff now. So they would be coming due, and we'd be getting a new motor grader in 2023, in January of 2023. That machine, the 2015 John Deere, has under 400 hours left on warranty, and so till it hits 9,000 hours or February of 2022.
Did you check on it?
And I can't get any more.
How about, that's not the first one to go though.
Yeah. The John Deere,
Isn't there an old cat still up here?
yeah, that thing doesn't cost us any money at all. Last week, the week before, they had to replace the thermostats on it, stuck open. So he was running and his engine was cooling down, so then he come out and put thermostats in it. Got that fixed. And then last week in the snowstorm, he ran to about 2:30 and he called me and he goes, I got an oil leak, I'm heading back to the shop. But he got back to the shop with it and he come out and fix that. There was another hydraulic hose that had rubbed the line.
You're talking about the John Deere now.
The John Deere, yeah. It's just, it's been nothing but problems in that John Deere. Wiring harnesses and injectors and pump and so. That would be the next one that we rotate out.
So we looked at, I know I probably asked this question in the past about leasing them. What was the gig with that, or we get a lease price too? A lease,
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we did last time.
because it's too much, we put too many hours on. Is
No,
that what I'm,
it's not judged by that. They do a lease,
It's kind of like those are balloon payment option. They can't do balloon payments for government entities, but they structure it very similar. So last time the commission looked at that would have been, not this last year, but the last time we bought the lid. It's not this last one, but the one before. And I truthfully don't remember what the reasoning was for not going on it, but you guys decided not to go with it at that point. It was before, a little while before.
Cooperstown still lease?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can
they
look
do.
at these options.
yeah, they do. There's just thinking about that, I guess.
Such a big Sony does too. They lease their machines too.
Leasing, but if is there an hour, you know, what's the? There's no- there's no-
After the 7 years, then you just turn it back in again.
Usually when you lease a machine, they they ask you how many hours a year you put on.
Yeah.
So like the leases I've always had, it's either 1,000 hour or 1,500 per year.
We're pretty close.
We're doing about 1,000 on the blades.
I would guess, yes, at least.
I can't remember what the money amount was.
We can look into that too. So the plan for the grader is, your May meeting, we're hoping to open bids. So in April, we'll come to you guys with the packet of information and you guys can hopefully approve it at that point. We'll have some discussion before then, but me and Reed and we'll sit down with Randy to try to get some that bid packet put together, if that's the route that you guys want to go. Before, like we did before.
Like we did before.
Well, we need to look at our budgets a little bit before we do this.
That's why we want to bring it up.
We're 3 minutes away.
Yeah.
Don't they run around 3 something?
Say 375, 350.
They're looking at probably, what do you say, 15% increase or something, or, you know, so if,
4 1/4.
yeah, 1 quarter.
Prices just going up. We'll finish this conversation.
How the trucks running?
Huh?
How the trucks running?
Truck's too good. Been little minor things like the heater fan and Daniel's truck, he had to every now and again take a tap with his foot and then it would take off again. But, you know, little things, the windshield wiper fell off on the passenger side, you know. So, but little things, otherwise, things have been going good. Cutting edges also, I mean, everything has increased dramatically. It's just been crazy this year. So,
When do you guys want gravel bins?
Probably due by May.
yeah.
So then
We didn't do it until.
I think we did them earlier, but we started.
Just to see what the roads with and stuff like that.
So you should probably get a map to us. We can discuss it. For the hearing while we put on board it.
Yeah, maybe get that to you guys probably next month or the month after, but we'll have a final walkthrough in April, before we put out. Yeah.
The culvert bids, are they, do we have to have a bid bond on them?
It's 10 o'clock. We'll open the culvert bids now this time. The only one I believe we got here is from True North Steel.
I can make copies for everybody else.
How many did you get? Just one?
They got it all in a bunch of different sizes, different gauges, everything else and stuff. It's,
I can go make copies for everybody if you want. Normally, you guys, being it's the only one, you only just accept them. But if you, I can make copies for everybody so you guys can look at all the prices if you want.
When they sent that out, didn't they write a letter that they were wanting us to maybe do something after 6 months?
Yeah, so the letter that was included in your guys' packets, I believe, was they want to make it for 6 months. So they want to be held to this pricing for 6 months and then take a look at it again after 6 months. So they want you guys to consider that. I don't know, unless Mike has something else to say about it, I really don't see a reason not to.
says something about the supplier to adjust raw materials prices going up or stuff.
They don't want to get into another situation like they did last year, where in the middle of the year, they had to increase. prices.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised they're given 6 months.
I am too, truthfully, but
I mean, usually it's price time of delivery.
They did honor our pricing sheet from last year. You know, they had sent us a letter stating that they were gonna increase it. They never did. They held it to what our bid price was on our culverts last year, which was very nice of them.
Are you pretty well stocked with culverts?
Not bad. I mean, I'm gonna have to get some more, you know, but right now, I mean, we're probably at half. There,
All the culverts, the townships and all that is all accounted for and everything, Reed?
yep. Call, one township this week because they've had a bill since August. And they just built, it's only $365. Call it. It's got more. I'm sorry, you know.
With the early meeting this month and year end, I'm sure that the year end reports for those things are not ready yet either. For the culverts and stuff that Ben usually does the year,
Yeah,
so. We're gonna run it up against that every month. The meetings are right away in the first of the month, so.
Bills aren't all in yet and
Mhm.
I think the price of steel is gonna go higher yet.
Like everything else.
Accept this on a 6-month basis.
It would, because it's only good for 6 months. So.
Did you up your budget for culverts?
yeah, you guys approved, yes.
And and it's gonna be separated out now for
Yeah.
them.
County and
You got the original? You got the original?
So, just looking at some of these, you're looking at 20% increases already from 21 to 22. The last one that Mike's looking at was mid-year of last year, so. We're looking at 40-50% for bid last year.
with all the culverts in there that we have, they're gold out there.
So with that, will you up your prices over here?
Oh, yeah. We're gonna do that right along.
So now.
You should
with
be
these
going
prices
off,
here,
you should be going off of this.
We'll readjust with.
Yeah.
We had to wait.
Yeah.
So, I missed the 6-month conversation, but if you guys do this, normally you just accept an award to True North, and then with caveats of 6 months here now.
So we need a motion then to accept the bid from True North Steel.
But so where does it say though? I know there was an email that he responded, but does it say in here 6 months?
No, that was.
It's on this letter.
It's on the letter.
But it's not in his bid proposal, right?
No, they sent that out prior to bid proposals. My understanding is Chad sent out that all the time.
But in this bid packet, to me, it doesn't say the 6 months. To me, this looks like it's a price for 2022 total.
That's how I read it. I think the letter is just saying that they want you to consider it being awarding it for 6 months based on their prices increasing. So what'll wind up happening is they award this and we say, forget it, we're not doing 6 months. They're gonna come back anyways, more than likely in 6 months and say we're increasing prices. So instead of doing.
So that's not a bid then.
I don't know. Instead of dealing with the runaround that we had to deal with last time, I think they're just saying.
But last year they honored the prices.
For us, I don't know if they did that all the way through. I don't know if that's gonna be the practice for.
Yeah, this letter,
Totally different guys.
this letter gives them an out.
Than what's in the last.
This letter gives them an out at 6 months.
But it's not in the bid packet though.
It
No.
doesn't say that on here though.
I think regardless, they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do in 6 months. Whatever we do.
We would have to go with a bond.
To me, they should have put that, right, to hold it to it, but
Yeah.
they should have put that in the bid packet. Isn't that normally how it would work, Mike?
I would think so, but I think the thing to keep in mind is that you get one bid.
Right. And who knows, maybe in 6 months it'll be lowered, but
I doubt it.
I doubt it.
But Orange County, they do the bid bond where they're actually, I mean, that costs quite a bit extra money, a lot more, and they can hold them to that price for the year. You know, and that's, we just haven't went through that process. It cost us more paperwork and
We don't use that many culverts compared to
No.
Bucks County, that's.
How many culverts you buy from July on? Roughly.
I was just doing that math the other day. I have final year-end numbers that I gotta get to you guys. I haven't got those reports yet. We were at 70 or 80 last year total. I think at the end of the year, or last half of the year, I think it was 20, 30.
So could you guesstimate that in June and
it went down a little bit from the prior year, you know, because of rushing water and stuff like that. So,
We got snow this year.
yeah.
It's hard to say what we're gonna get next
It
spring.
could be pretty wild.
Could
this
be.
year.
but by June, right, you would
Mhm.
know the
Then
kind of
to
extent of what
figure.
you needed and stuff
Like
like that,
some.
you could pick up.
Yeah,
Usually,
What-
then I would put together an order,
but that's the
you know,
total.
and have a truckload come, you
Yeah,
know, so we wouldn't have to it would be just specialty culverts, you know, that we would end up buying. And I've been making the townships buy them directly from True North, you know, by using our, you know, what our pricing is. So it doesn't come off of our budget. You know, for some bigger culverts.
So we're giving it to them for cost then.
Yeah, they get it, I mean, because they'll deliver it and everything for them, you know. So. Yeah. But I mean, it will work, you know, it just doesn't say it like he said in here, which I could. Last year the honored it, but this year, we're just trying to cover the.
Well, I would say you take your inventory and in May, figure out what you need for sure, and then guesstimate what you think you're gonna need and buy it all at
Yeah.
one time and hopefully you're done with it.
Yeah.
And if you need some specialty stuff,
Yeah.
it is what it is, price wise.
Like what I've been doing before is I got quite a bit of stock now, but otherwise I would have a semi load delivered in February. And stuff, so we could, you know, put them in our bin, but we have pretty good inventory.
Well, if we have a lot of them, let's just hold off until
Yeah,
later on.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That could, to see what we're gonna need, you know. We might need some 36-inch covers, you know, so then we don't end up spending all our money out of our budget, so. Got some more bands, but they're. That's $100.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see, finish this one. Because this we did. We voted on it.
So you just need a motion then to approve it?
To accept an award to cover 2022 cover bids to your north, and if you guys have caveats, you can have.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion on the culvert bid. Have a second?
And we're gonna accept the 6-year or the 6-month look back then, like they're stating in this.
This motion is just to buy from True North.
Yeah.
So it's got nothing to do with anything else.
Okay. I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second on the culvert bids. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Emily, this is the actual bid.
Yeah, we were wondering where the original one. Thank you. I'll trade you. Did you need a copy? Okay.
Anything else, Mike or Reed, Ben? Okay. And
What? Shouldn't be.
Just curious, you haven't been on here for a long time. Are you been working or where you been?
I even called them and said, did I miss something you sent me for the meeting? I mean, you don't have anything?
okay, let's go back.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Reed?
Yep. Mike, you still got the same phone number?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I called you one day and you didn't answer, so I didn't know if you had a new.
You knew it was you.
So maybe that's why. So.
He always answers me.
No, I don't remember my call.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Let's go back to the Golden Lake lease lot rate. Emily looked it up and the last time we had raised it was in 2020 and stuff. And then we raised it from 800 to 850. So
I'll make a motion that we wait till next year to raise it.
got a motion from Richard to leave it as is. I need a second.
So moved.
Didn't we go through a motion?
I thought we did, but
And Brandon
We
second,
didn't.
we didn't vote.
We didn't finish it,
Okay.
We didn't
but I would
finish it.
like to add that we put in the letter that look for a price increase next year.
Okay.
So they got it in their head.
Yeah. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Okay, let's go down to weather closing. Who is on that committee for that, and how does that go? Do they get paid time for that or not?
So this has come up.
Yeah.
Richard knows. We were closed for the day. And since 2017, I believe, you guys had made this discussion and we followed since then that if somebody was already on vacation and taking vacation, they needed to use their
State's
vacation.
vacation.
And so that there was somebody on vacation called Richard. And you told that person they could take storm day?
No,
That's.
no, I told him, I said that I don't know what the rules are in the handbook, that we need to bring that up at the commission.
Okay, I don't believe that's what the email coming back to Amy said. So I put it on the agenda, just so it can get clarified. You guys can make your decision.
So
You know, it's been followed consistently and there's been a lot of other people affected by it.
We gotta stay
Also-
consistent.
But it doesn't say in our policy manual, so maybe we should do an adjustment on that. I know Trail County, it shows in their policy manual that if they're on vacation, that they cannot use a storm day if they're already on the vacation. We probably should clarify that.
I would say we should, if that's the
It
case.
just,
We're,
I know it's,
we are also not Trail County.
I know that, but
That
Yeah,
needs to be in policy though,
I think it should be.
because if it comes up, then it's. we can put it in
I'm
there.
surprised it's not if we've
I
gone
can't
through this
believe it's.
before.
I mean, if you're on vacation, why would you think well, you want to save your day, I understand that, but if you're not working. why
And
would
there
you
were
ask?
more than one of us, myself, Ben, someone else, that did work from home that day. And she chooses to work from home other days. She was on vacation. I just,
Yeah.
I think though we should change that in our policy, whatever we want to change it to, It should be in the policy manual. Just so we don't have this issue down the road. That's,
But goes back, what are we gonna give it to him then?
I honestly couldn't remember what we've done in the past, so. I told her, I said, I can't make that decision myself.
I don't know, I think if you're on vacation, you're on vacation.
I agree, but I get her point as well.
Yeah,
So if you're in Cancun for 10 days and we get snowed out here, you get a free
I
day.
know, I know.
I say we stay consistent and do whatever we gotta do in the policy to make it that way.
that's a good one.
It's true.
Yeah,
I agree with Brian.
And also, when you think about it too, of thinking back to the exempt side of things. As Emily said, that, you're working, you can work from home too. So I'm just spitting, so, when you're on vacation, you're on vacation, even if it is storm day per se, or, just thinking about it here a little bit.
But I would think that you as an individual, if you had your capabilities of working from home on a storm day, you would automatically do that without questioning anything, stuff that you gotta get done to do. So you're doing it, so you're getting paid for it anyway then, so
Well, let's maybe stick with what we've done in the past, so it's fair to everybody. Let's also probably get the policy manual updated with that verbiage in there.
Well, is it in the policy manual now that on a storm day, people automatically get paid?
No, I don't believe so, is it?
Automatically get paid. No.
As far as whether they are on vacation, you mean?
Vacation.
No, I don't think there's anything in our policy manual on it. That's what I'm saying. we
It's
need
just
to-
normal that storm day you get paid.
So I think we need
Correct.
to,
In that
Well, it's
part.
it's an act of God.
Yep.
So I mean,
Yep.
nothing you can do about it, but
there's nothing on there that says that if you're on vacation, that you will get paid storm time instead of vacation. So I think we need to just put that in the policy, so.
Or
How we wanna do
we
it.
don't, and just then it's a day off, it's a day off. Then. I mean, that's what you do. I mean,
We could leave it, but I just
The-
think
the-
that
this-
there's no, we don't have this problem ever again. That we
We
just,
need to clarify that.
yeah,
absolutely.
If you're on vacation,
yeah,
you use your vacation day, not a storm day.
right.
Yeah.
If that's the way we want to go, that's why I think we
Well,
should clarify that. I know
That's
it's
only
more stuff to
fair.
add to it, I mean, but
we've been doing it for 5 years. If that's the way it's been for 5 years, we gotta leave it so it's
What?
fair to everybody.
it's been longer than 5 years, I'm sure.
Well, I know, but because
I know it
back
was
in the old days, it was,
rediscussed at that point, because I
Nope.
went back to look.
yeah. But I mean, years ago, it was common sense. That would never come up. But nowadays, it's that kind of crap comes up.
I would ask probably for a motion to put it in the handbook as that,
Oh.
if that is the way.
Well, I don't know if
you guys
that's the
choose.
correct verbiage. Maybe we should have Charlie even give us a little pointer to the correct verbiage, but I think we should do some kind of verbiage in
He
the
did
handbook.
trail county policy manual, so.
So maybe we should ask him what it says in there.
I have it. I don't know if I have it with me. I should say I have our policy manual with me. But
So what we can do though is for right now, we can make a decision on that person's. And then we'll talk about the verbiage later with Charlie. Right?
Yep, that would work.
Does that need to be a motion?
We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
A
It's
motion,
vacation time.
vacation time.
Got a motion on the floor. Need a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Well, we got Leslie Luminol coming at 10:30 and stuff. Do we wanna,
she'll be here at 10:30. She's on her way. She answered my email. I don't know if you guys have a long discussion on budget amendments or not, if you had a chance to look that over. That is something we do every year. It shows you which funds went over and the amendments, the transfers you approved last month are also on there.
So what are we looking at here?
So would we, should we talk about that verbiage or would we add that in our next month's meeting? On that? Or we to put in the handbook?
Yeah, I think we should.
Now what?
COVID, the better.
I've had it.
Anybody?
I've had it already.
Was somebody's coming into the meeting?
Who knows? I don't know for sure.
Okay,
So current or original budget is that first column, which was approved for 2021.
okay,
The actual expenditures is the next column.
okay,
The resulting position, the amendment needed, which would equal the final budget amount once approved. Residual balance for under expenses are on that last column. Reasons to the very right.
So the 411, that's in the green then, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Where does that go back to? Does that go back to the general fund?
Nope, those are all in those represented funds that they're
Do they stay in there?
correct.
They just stay in that fund, okay, then in the budget, we refill that again. Or-
Right, so those amounts too, like a percentage of where we are at with expenditures and estimated funds to end up as used to calculate the levy for this year. So it's not like additional funds that are
Okay.
up for grabs at that point.
I got you.
It's really not that much of a leeway if you look at it that way for the whole county.
Yeah,
The second page onto that just kind of broke down what goes into the general fund part of it. And just a little bit more information on that level of it.
Morning.
You up for all day?
I'm around here all day, yeah.
Good.
How did it come out last year? The difference,
Oh, I'd have to go pull that one.
just off the top of your head.
I don't-
Close?
I don't have a off the top of my head. I just got that completed yesterday with end of year. Morning.
Hi.
Do you want a motion?
I
first?
do need a motion.
I'll make a motion. Accept this.
A motion on the floor. Need a second for
I'll second.
budget amendments. A second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Well, it's 10:30 and it's time for Leslie to.
Hi,
Morning. Good morning.
I'm here today to talk about hiring a new agent for Steele County. We had interviews about 2.5 weeks ago and we found a successful candidate. And my ask to the commission is that we hire her at $54,000. Our extension-based policy for a master's degree, this person has a master's in animal science, is $50,200. They're coming with 3 years of NDSU extension experience with them. And I feel that that is a value that their salary should be competitive to others in the system that have that years of service or close to that years of service. So I'm asking today if the commission would approve that salary. Have you guys heard that Amber resigned?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yep.
So So, this salary is more than what Angie was making. Angie did not have a master's degree position. And she had salary compression as well at that time.
We have budgeted for,
Well, it's based off of we're half, right?
Yeah.
So, and then depending on the other agents' salary, but for the two agents, it's 39,684 is what was in the budget for next year.
so roughly it's just $4,000. When would she start?
Right after work.
January.
We do know.
Amber will be 2 weeks paid out of this fiscal year. And her position, extension, we need to have a group
Sounds kinda
copy of it
looking at
that
it like
says the
that.
resignation letters come in to see how we feel about it. I don't know what you guys feel about that position, but we need to look to see if we want to fill it or not fill it or go as well. I had a chance to meet with my colleagues.
So we're looking at 54,000.
Yep, and then she would be eligible for a raise this year. That would come in July. And that would be a 2% is what we put down on paper for her.
That's after 6 months, then Leslie, is that what you're considering there? then?
We give raises if people come on before April 1st. Because, and we feel that, you know, if you get behind 1 year, it's hard to catch that up. So she is gonna, in her written offer, I would write that she's eligible for an increase in the state of North Dakota for state employees, it's that 2% is the average. So that's what I would also think about too.
I'm sorry, did we, Amber, are we thinking of rehiring for that? Did you guys probably just discuss that?
I haven't discussed it
Okay.
with my.
What's your feeling on that, or?
I feel that I would prefer support staff in the office
Okay.
versus the second agent.
Okay.
I just feel like you guys, you're very supportive of extension and that's amazing. And I'm trying to think about the clients that they serve, but having someone as a support staff, it's helpful for running bills and also just getting that customer service element that I would prioritize.
They half of that too?
No, you pay all of the support staff. Amber's position as the family community wellness agent, you paid cap.
So I think their thought is the half for that combined with the part-time or the partial salary we currently have for the support staff would get somebody maybe in there more consistently for them to support
That's my
the agent.
personal, yeah, that's my personal feelings on it. I
Mhm.
haven't talked to my
Sure.
colleagues about it.
I'd make a motion to approve that.
I'll second it.
The salary of 54.
54,000.
Motion and a second on the floor on the extensions, salary and stuff for the new hire.
Well-
Which is Megan Vig, right?
Well, I think the rumor's out.
I thought everybody already knew. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
I would think, also the support of the commission, we would like to see the second one hired more
Okay, I know
Support.
that's what I was kind of wondering too. So I will be in touch with you guys about what we decide on our end for a second agent. And let you guys know our decision too. So maybe, is it okay to kind of hold off on this support staff conversation for a
Yep.
little bit?
Yeah. We
And
can,
I'm sure Megan would probably want to be part of that hiring process.
absolutely, and
She takes
that's,
the job.
that's kind of, I'd like her involved. And secondly, I'd like to thank Amber for her dedication to Steele County and the things she's done and filling in when we've been short too, so should be missed on her side too, so.
Especially helping Angie with the
Yep,
4-H and all that
absolutely.
stuff. and everything, yeah.
And the things she's done, it's,
Honestly, I'm very sad to lose Amber. She was a great hire. She's very talented person,
Yeah,
very, very talented person.
yeah, sure. I know she said it was a very hard decision for her to make and everything and stuff, so,
Yeah.
but
She told me that too.
When was the last day again?
Her date, last date will be the
14th, isn't it?
14th, it'll be Friday.
Next Friday, yeah.
and she said she'd be well available for the new agent coming in to help them get settled too. So she offered her time for that too, so that was very good of her to do that.
Yeah, and I've kept Megan in the loop too with
Okay.
staff changes happening during this hiring process, so she's aware that she'll be coming in alone initially.
I think that's what we should shoot for, just getting that office staff
Back to normal.
filled. See if we can get something ironed out there.
So I will work on it on my end and make an appointment back with you.
Okay.
Should visit with you guys.
Where do you usually run that ad for then, Leslie?
For NDSU positions, they have to be, I think it's for like 28 business days. They have to.
Oh, okay.
And then it's a slow process, to be honest. So, okay, well, thank you. I won't take any more time.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, take care.
Yep. Okay, moving on, let's take Catherine, public health nurse.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, I just have the year-end report for you guys.
Saw it on.
Which is good. I don't think we typically are. Nurse have done well in DPS. I think we're for $5,000. But we're still above.
Been getting calls about giving shots.
Probably 20-ish people signed up for the next month-ish.
When are you gonna get, are you gonna do kids?
Yep, we're doing kids right now.
We are.
Yep, so. I got done 4.
Mike Overland got me the other day, said, asked about it, and I said, call you.
So they have not came over with her.
He's got 3 kids, so the youngest is 5. So, and he was thinking that maybe they should. I said, boy, I would if I had kids.
I just finished hers yesterday. She wasn't happy with me.
Yep.
So. I'm hoping that with the new quarantine guidance, that'll encourage people to get the boosters.
So what is that, Catherine? Why don't you go through that?
Right, note here for you guys. So, if you're positive, regardless of your status of vaccination, you have to stay home for 5 days. And then after that, you continue to wear a mask and come back to work or go about your normal routine. You just have to have a very well-fitting mask. If you have a fever, you have to stay home until that's gone. If you are exposed, then if you have been boosted, there's different rules. You wear a mask around others for 10 days and you should test on day 5 if possible. And if you have not been boosted or you've been vaccinated, then you are supposed to stay home for 5 days. Vaccinated, you should stay home for 5 days. After that, continue to wear a mask around others. So, and it's kind of tough guidance because now it's changing again. That's everybody's questioning what's going on again. So,
We had somebody COVID here today.
And Friday, last Friday?
was it Friday? I sent out an email. Yeah, it was Friday. We had a positive. That person has not been around anybody at all. The one from Friday. And one from today hasn't been around.
Not many.
Not
Well,
many.
some, yeah.
Short periods of time. It was sounded like nothing that was 15 minutes. But
Did we have symptoms today or?
they have symptoms, yeah.
He said symptoms for a week.
So,
That's why they get it.
so. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this goes. So if you want to go to booster. get it.
Got any flu shots left?
I do. I have lots of them.
I get one this morning. Or when we're done.
Left cheek.
Yes, you absolutely can.
I got mine.
So if we've been boosted and we've been around this person, what are we supposed to do?
And you, if you've been boosted, then you can wear a mask around others for 10 days. That's what they recommend, test on day 5.
So we're supposed to have masks on right now?
Have you been around them?
I don't know.
I suppose you don't know the person is. But I would guess no. I don't think so.
Has the one person that was around him been sent home yet?
That is something I will be working on. We can talk about that. after this.
Well,
So,
What if you've been vaccinated twice, not boosted, but and had COVID? And had COVID already?
then you're good. You get a 90-day free.
Right. Sweet.
You can go to Cancun?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that's gonna be my next talk after this, but. Upgrade projects. Emily is working hard on the health equity. She's bringing up some good ideas. That's good plans of mine. I am writing for a couple, well, I wrote for another grant here in February on, and finishing another grant that will be in February on. Both will help that health equity grant. Both of them are for wellness. And to bring some more finances to the county to help promote that, so it doesn't come out of county dollars or anything. And then we also got the substance abuse grant for $20,000. And that will be working with the sheriff's office to implement. And Rick and I, good thing it's on, have a meeting on Thursday with the state to discuss that and get a little more in depth, get some more guidance on it, how we're gonna implement that. So That's all I got for you guys.
How's your new employee working out?
Great.
Good.
She is jumping into the role, especially with me being gone right away. She's jumping into the role. Right now, she's been brushing up on our policies and reading our health equity plan front to back. She's on her second time reading it and coming up with.
That's good. Good.
It'll work out well.
Good.
So I'm just gonna go back to this COVID positive in the courthouse. So now that we've had that this morning, shouldn't that fodder be done? I haven't seen it by yet. Maybe
She runs it right away in the morning and then she runs it right before she leaves. From my understanding.
But if
I'm
we-
not here at 7 AM, so. But yes. It should be.
I don't know. I mean, it can't hurt to do it, especially if we just heard there's another one.
Right, absolutely. It should be. I can relay that to her that, hey, let's run it through the building.
I fogged all last week also, every day, twice a day. And covered the days that people were assigned. So, I don't
You
know if
can't
there's
go
a
overboard
better-
on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a whole side.
Yeah,
I don't want-
and there
I don't
were
want it.
employees assigned that, I don't know if that was covered or asked to cover anyone else, but I don't know if there's a better way to do that or not, but I would-
People just honestly forget about it. I think it's just not the top.
Well, there's a new reminder here today.
well, it's my top priority.
Yep.
If we're gonna have people coming and going, I'd like to see
Absolutely.
masks or something.
Yeah.
Or clinics in the building. I mean, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do clinics, but
And we do fog for those and we do recommend masks for those. So whether they do it or not, we can't force them. And I cannot say, hey, do you have a health condition that, you know.
And you can't force them to get a shot either. That's-
I'm not forcing them. But we do fog and then we can go after we've had clinics. We are fogging. So.
Well, we have a janitor here that can do that stuff, so.
The question we were gonna ask Catherine was, can we require a COVID test to somebody in our employment range?
From what I read is that you cannot, if they're sick, is that your question? If they're
Yes.
sick,
Yes,
you cannot. From what I've read on the CDC, you cannot. You can require a doctor's note.
So we can require them to have a COVID test to come back to work.
I gotta read more into it, but what I found in the CDC was that we cannot require them to go home. Take a COVID test and they can go home, basically, which I don't really understand.
Charlie?
There we go. But
We're looking at COVID pay. So how do you prove you have COVID if you don't take a test?
right,
Do you get names of people that are positive in the county?
No.
No.
I did not, and that's unfortunate. For instance, someone who would be sitting here right now. and be positive. Just for example.
That's what they say. Yeah, and I've had my shots and my booster, but still they say people are getting it. So I don't know.
But I mean, you could knowingly do it. So that's the thing is, I don't have a way to get that. I mean, I can look up a person if I know for a reason to look it up, but I can't just go fishing.
Right.
So I think the easiest solution would be to require a doctor's note if they're sick, like I've had somebody come to me and say they have symptoms of something and it's, you gotta go home because you're not well. If you're throwing up or doing these things, you go home. It's gonna work. So.
Isn't it policy 3 days after 3 days before doctor?
Doctor's note. Yes,
It's getting them to go home, not
yes,
come to work sick.
that's the hard part.
That's I mean,
When I get backlash too, when I tell people to go home. So that's kind of the frustrating part is I dealt with that. Don't appreciate being told that or.
Because they don't want to use their sick time.
They don't use their sick time or they maybe don't have hardly any, I don't know, but what do I do at that point too when they're refusing to leave? Do I call them and say, hey, you need to escort them out of the building or what do I
I
do?
think if you're our public nurse, you have the right to say.
That's where our catch 22 is because we, you know, the COVID pay, whether we keep it on or take it off is, we don't want people coming in if they're sick because they don't have sick time. Well,
Is there anybody that does not have? sick
if we're
leave
gonna pay
time?
COVID pay, we'd like to know
There's
that
at
they got
least one
COVID.
that's gonna be out when
So-
we
so
finish
we-
the
we
discussion
talked
with
about
her.
Continuing the COVID time,
Mhm.
you know, like, so last year, you guys, maybe I talked with this indulged me, but last year you guys voted to carry over anybody who had COVID time left, you carried over.
Right, and we did it again.
Yeah, it's just fortuitous whether you got it in 20 or 21 or whether you did it in 22.
But what we're talking about is how do we know, can we require a COVID test to prove that they've had COVID?
So, but in that sense though too, if my kid gets COVID and I have to stay home, that was part of it too, wasn't it? Did you get your 80 hours and whether you used it on your child or yourself.
Close contact
it
or
was
whatever,
Whatever. So then requiring a test isn't gonna do.
I guess.
Just
Yeah.
read- read that one.
Yeah,
Cause I mean,
right.
my son was just quarantined not that long ago and luckily my husband stopped for him and it worked out, but
He needs his good sheets.
some people it doesn't, so.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't think
I've been
requiring a
sending
test
it to him too.
is probably
That's what he
either.
is.
I,
You're probably just gonna have to trust people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, I hear you, but you know, what do you do? It's
Yeah.
just such a dynamic deal that, you know.
and I trust everybody here that would be, you know, on the up and up on everything, but, you know, thank God we're a small place.
I think it's a good and proper thing you guys have done this. It's just by sheer chance with it. I mean, you have people who have tried, been attempting to be incredibly safe, which pretty much all of us have, and you still come down with COVID. You know,
You can't stop it.
You can't.
You can touch a door handle. You don't know who's touching
I
it.
don't know. My daughter had COVID and went through quarantine, no symptoms anymore. After I had her over my weekend. So 2 weeks after she was diagnosed, I ate pancakes and stuff. And she had half a pancake left and she didn't want the rest of this and used her fork and ate her pancake and I got COVID 4 days later.
Yeah,
I never even thought about it.
But it might not happen from that either.
It might not.
No.
You know, there's a good chance it did, but I hear you. Who knows? I have no idea where I got it. But that's what I'm thinking by default. So no matter how careful you've had it on well.
I couldn't tell you where I got it from.
And,
I've-
yeah, you
I've
gotta be
searched.
careful.
Searched my brain that whole week and I couldn't tell you where I got it.
so you were still in your 6 month. You still in your 6 month period?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you would have been still covered, so. I know people that have worn masks everywhere and have been very big on hand washing and things, and they've still got it, so. it's- I don't know what the answer is to it on that, but that's the science behind why they went down to the 5 days of quarantine is most people quit shedding 2 or 3 days after they're positive, so.
So that helps our situation too, and then it's only 5 days now.
yeah,
People have still 8 days left.
cuts it back a little bit, yeah.
But do we know, I mean, who's been boosted and not? Because then it's 10 days, right?
Is it
That
10
is-
days for vaccinated? Still?
No,
No, it's still.
5 days at home, and then continue with other people for an additional 5 days.
So it's probably what I do is you go to carry it over again. I want to also say, as an addendum, that they have to follow the CDC guidelines, meaning they'd be quarantined for 5 days, but they'd have to come back to work.
Well, I think we've already made that clear. It's they have to follow the CDC.
Yeah.
Because they can come back to work, but have to wear masks. for 5 days.
That was in the original.
Can you make them? That goes back to the masking thing. is where I
So they
brought
have
that up.
They have to follow the CDC guidance to be at work in the workplace, because that is in our policy, that's in the public health policy that was provided, is that they have to follow that. If they've been exposed, they need to be wearing that mask, and it needs to be a well-fitting mask, not a mask sitting down here, not a mask flopping out on the side. In the CDC guidance, it says a well-fitting mask. So, I can provide them masks every day. They can get a brand new one, just like the one you're wearing every single day. Because those are probably the best fitting ones I've seen, the cloth ones. Some of them fit well, but I would prefer to see them wearing a surgical.
And we have those at the front and back, so.
Yeah, there's no reason that there's not. Yep,
Well, maybe we should send out another email to remind everybody of the CDC requirements and that we voted to follow that.
Mhm.
That's what they need to follow. And
Your,
if they don't follow, there's.
Trail
gonna be-
county
then
still
they need to go.
at the courthouse
They can
closed,
finish their 10
or
day
locked.
quarantine if they will not follow.
Do they wear masks inside?
And I guess.
I still think that's,
We just need to support you guys that.
that's the thing
if
you
we
do
tell
is wear a
somebody to go
mask, but
on,
then
they
that's
have to
just
do
me.
us.
And I should have one on today.
I don't want to pull you into it either, but I don't know what else to do if they don't.
Well, we voted on the CDC guidelines already. That's what it's going on.
Problem is, if they don't wanna go get tested, we're never gonna know.
No, we're not, but then you're stuck doing your 10 days at home then, I suppose.
Outside of if people get sick, pretty obvious, so.
Richard, there are 3 full-time that have under 20 hours of sick and 1 part-time.
So Catherine, your recommendations for me going into a store in Mayville, Grand Forks, Fargo, or whatever, it says, you know, if you've been vaccinated and boosted and everything else, it says, could you please still wear a mask? Should you do that or not?
I mean, following the recommendations are always going to be, the number one is gonna be the public health recommendation. Do you have to follow it? It's just a recommendation, it's not a, and it's not a law, so
Hmm.
it is the best recommendation.
Well, I got some appointments tomorrow in Grand Forks and so I'm just wondering,
I'm going to, well, healthcare facilities won't allow you in without a mask. so It's that type. Yeah, just.
Re-forward it
remember
to
when you
me,
go,
and
You're
then-
able to stay away from people. I'm with hand sanitizer everywhere I go, so.
yeah, okay.
I'd like to have a short recess before we go into
Yeah,
executive
let's do
session.
that. Thanks,
I'll make a
Catherine.
motion to that. Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. The motion to take a short recess. All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion. You second that, did you?
Yeah, sure.
More coffee than me, I guess.
Grant, Brian. Not too bad. Any chance we can deliver your windows tomorrow? That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I think down south there it's supposed to be a lot better. I think they're in the 1 to 3 inch. We're up in Grand Forks, so kind of in the 4 to 7 range. Mhm. I would think it'd be right away in the morning, but why don't I call him and I'll get back to you. Okay, I'll call you right back. Hey, buddy. An important county commission meeting, but I told them, screw off, I need to talk to Chase. So. What time are you thinking of going tomorrow? Well, he's thinking that he would go out there tonight and stay the night for morning. First thing or what? Okay, I'll let him know. You bet. Yeah, he says first thing works fine, he said, but you know, that might be like 8 or 9 by the time he gets out there. So.
I was thinking yesterday, last night I was talking.
Okay, you get your number and you got this, so. Okay. You bet, bye.
Wait, one of these? One of them. Eat more than my fair share over the break, it's getting a little ridiculous. Quit your fills. Way more than.
Yeah, that.
You got all that goes.
I don't know the difference between a cold and an allergy. I don't think I think so.
Damn kids, they just been.
Charlie, you want one of those?
I ate 2 of those caramel ones are unbelievable.
This shit's gotta go somewhere else.
Oh, God.
What's that?
Yeah, no cooking, no stress.
That's what I hate about it, because you have no beer all, so you gotta go, that's gone, yeah.
I was still coughing so much.
That's the way to be. Because everybody's stressing about cooking and then you forget something. That time you snacked enough to where you're not hungry anymore.
Try to get all the relatives together, you don't have enough.
There's a email, something like
Got a rental. Bigger area.
Because we don't use WebEx anymore, we use Zoom.
oh, okay.
I couldn't get the damn pot open.
Yeah, I need some.
More coffee?
Yes,
Yeah, some,
okay,
Okay, so what you guys do to adjourn the regular meeting?
No,
So you
recess.
adjourn the regular meeting and vote to go into executive.
Are we online here?
we are still alive.
I'll make a motion to adjourn to.
We gotta reconvene first.
We got, yeah. Time to reconvene back into our normal meeting. Need a motion for that?
So move. Second.
Got a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, pose. Motion carried. Now we're gonna go into executive session. Stuff. Need a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion. Second.
Okay, all those in
11:05.
favor? It is 11:05. Going in executive session.
Motion to reconvene the. Sorry.
Not to get us back live. so they
Motion
can
to
hear it.
reconvene the county commission meeting.
We got a motion to reconvene. Any second?
I'll second.
Got a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. We are now back at 11:31, January 4th, 2022, with the remainder of the commissioners meeting. Okay, we ready for Dina?
Yes.
That was the last thing, one of the
She-
deals.
Yeah, she's gonna go over the four
Yeah.
machines, I guess.
Yeah.
She also would like, and she can speak for herself when she gets up here if you guys have questions, but I'm texting her to come up right now. She would like to take the leave that she had last week as unpaid and not use all of her sick and vacation time. So that's a request also from her, right?
Yes. Yes, they are.
You got the floor there, sit in front of the mic.
Hello, gentlemen and ladies.
Morning.
Or-
Okay. I contacted, I think Renco. Richard, you said the other place was, what was it?
Stein.
Stein. Well, they took over Stein. I looked and looked and looked, couldn't find Stein anymore.
In Moorhead?
Oh, no, Fargo, you said.
Moorhead.
But this is from Renco. The little one that I liked, the one I know how to use is the Tornado BD 14.4, and it's $3,700. So he sent another one for Karcher. It's a 3812 for 4,800, but he said it had a lithium battery. I looked on the batteries and I thought the batteries for the Tornado were expensive, but they're only like $84 a piece. The Archer one is like 2,400. Oh, I know. I went, oh, I don't think so. And the machine, the Tornado that I used at DCSU, it was 2015, so it lasted years, and that took a beating because you had all those kids coming through all day long, and they had to move it from up to down. So, and they didn't have a elevator at the boss building. So,
No, this is all run on batteries then.
yeah, it's
Oh.
all battery operated. There's no wires, which is nice because you don't get it tangled up.
No cords or anything.
No
then.
cords. So I was just wondering which one, I got the pictures. I'm gonna look at them. I kind of like the Tornado more because of the reason why is because the batteries aren't expensive. I thought they were really expensive, but
Looks like it'd be easier to handle too.
Spoke with the Bendico guys at Big Iron,
oh, you did?
and they had a bunch of stuff there and you know, they have a lot of stuff there. They have a lot of different models, a lot of different
I went on their website.
used ones.
Renco?
Renco, or yeah.
Yeah.
They had one like this, some sort of like this. And the guy was telling me that, you know, they have the big models like push that are bigger. He said these they have more troubles with coming in for serviceability, where the other ones are both. He says they don't have much trouble with.
They're
them.
indestructible.
He
really.
goes,
I've never used one like that, but I've
But
used.
they had one of these on the floor for like,
I used the Tornado and I used it to death and it still works. Now, you're talking about the big gigantic ones. Yes, they do work better, but we don't have the floor.
floor space.
Yeah, so it's, the only reason I'm looking for the little compact one, it's because those can go anywhere. And that's what I was thinking.
One thing I thought of, where are you gonna keep it?
Basement. Because it needs to be charged and then you uncharge, you charge it in the morning. And then if you're not using it, then you unplug it when you go home. So, you don't want to keep it charged all the
Yep.
time.
Nope, good.
Yeah,
So this is the $3,700 one or
no, that one is the 37.
this one?
Yeah.
Is it in your budget?
Yes,
Like to hear that.
yes. It is, but see, if I were to get the other one, the Karcher, that one is taking most of my budget and probably the sales tax and stuff. I don't know if they do sales tax for us, but it's 4,800. I really. Huh?
Don't worry about that.
Not sales tax.
Okay, but the $3,700, I know what to expect from that one. And I know how to take care of it and clean it and all that good stuff. So that's the only reason I'm going towards that one, the tornado. The other one is a new one, so I don't know anything about it. I mean, it's not like I can't find out. They do a lot of investigating, but
So that's the ones you use in Valley City, that tornado?
The tornado, this is for used price.
do. I talked to Josh yesterday. So, yeah.
You don't want one that you can ride on or anything like that? Or?
Oh,
You'd run down the steps
I
or
drive it
something.
down the steps, yeah. And at least this one, I can have somebody help me with the ramp over, you know, I can't do the steps, which that's not a problem. I'm using a razor blade to take all the old polish off the steps. So that's no problem.
Well, I'd still, you're not gonna be able, either one of those, you're not gonna do the landings.
You can.
Who's gonna lift them?
I could get somebody to help me.
No, I'm not helping you.
Workman's comp claim.
How heavy are they? I mean, real question.
130 pounds, 150 pounds. So,
Without the water?
without the water.
Oh.
I used to have to get the guys from maintenance to come over and move it up and down, so.
I'm not listening now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the road guys,
Huh?
I think it'd be tough to find someone in the building that
I know.
is
But
able
the
to
road
live.
guy, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be doing it all the time.
You'll
I
never
can
get
use a
bended.
mop. I can use the mop. I can use the mop on the landings. It's no big deal. I mean,
Any other discussion on this?
What'd we budget for that then? Do you remember?
5,000. Yeah, I got all my stuff ready.
What do you think, Ted?
I think we get the one that the lady wants.
Brandon?
I'll make the motion
Second.
Got a motion? I'm gonna,
to purchase the $3,700 tornado. That's what it is. From Brenco.
got a second on that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. What else you got, Dina?
Since I had the big C.
I have not
I
blurted
know,
that
I
out
know.
there.
I had the big C when I was supposed to get my leg operated on, amputated. They told me that I'm no longer eligible for that for like 6 weeks because they don't want to put me under because they don't know what the COVID would do with my lungs, which I have really bad lungs anyway, so. I didn't want to use all my vacation pay and sick leave that I was going to use, taking that 1 week off, because I was so sick, I couldn't even do anything, I stayed in my house. I was gonna clean house, you know, do stuff that I needed to do, and I couldn't do anything for that whole week.
You want to use 1 week of non-paid.
Right,
Motion that we approve that.
A motion on the table,
Second.
and a second on it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Hey,
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried.
and I'd also like to know, when do you think would be the best time to get my knee done? I mean, do you think?
When it's
better-
warm out.
I was gonna say, is it winter time, is it summer?
I would do it in the summer. I've had both my knees replaced in summertime, it's the time to do it.
Well, see, then I can save up my, at least. And then I have Aflac to cover the rest of that. And then I'll just pay my
That's,
medical.
that's just me, but it's a lot nicer to be able to get out and walk when it's
Yeah.
warm. Ice is a sun, so.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for the day. I did ask. I know I'm part-time, so I don't get the COVID pay. Not even half of it. Because I'm part-time. I would take it. So. It's up to you. Fine.
You're requesting half pay.
Well, yeah. kind of.
What are, we don't give cold pay for,
You haven't.
Well, who's got COVID in part-time? Nobody,
We can't say that.
oh.
That's
I don't
confidential.
understand that. I really don't care if anybody knows that I had it, because I wasn't out at the bar, or at the grocery store, or, you know, I stayed home.
Yeah, and it, you don't know where you're gonna get it. Anyway,
I don't know where I got it. I mean,
Well,
I
let's-
probably got it from Marvin, because he goes to play with my dad. That's the only thing I can figure out. Yeah.
Well, we've never had a case like that before, so I guess we'll just leave it as it is for now. Bring it up for future discussions.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day.
thank you.
Now, need approval of the bills. Unless anybody's got any questions on the bills, anything?
It's a lot more to look through when it's on those cards, I think.
Those fee cards?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. A lot of stuff. I was just wondering in there on Nest Plumbing, if we could get that every month,
good luck.
or just like any other business.
No, they're not.
I'm sorry, when can I order this? Immediately?
Yeah, it's been approved. Get it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm calling right now.
okay,
Thank you.
bet.
there's a lot of stuff on there. I looked
There was an invoice on there from the year before that should have been.
People have been trying for years.
and stuff like that, you know, to go back and remember on stuff back from January of 21.
Right.
And stuff, and then, yeah, it just, I thought that should be, you know, if we could see if they could do it, or at least quarterly. You know? That's the only question I had about it, so. That's quite a bill. So if not, have a motion to approve the bills.
So move.
Got a motion, second, second on that. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next meeting will be February 1st, I believe, right?
February
Yeah.
1.
Anything else to discuss or else adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourn, second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I have something else, but I just can't remember. Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned at 11:45.